dirty boots, dirty boots, dirty boots, 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 crisp white sheets. Don't you see? This boat has the means for crisp white sheets. Full speed ahead. Sheets to my bed. Crisp sheets, white sheets. Heed my words. Don't you see? Don't you see? It's a requiem for sheets. Captain, 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 Captain,
Captain Mateus TORRES.
Captain! Crisp white sheets. Don't you see? This boat has the means for crisp white sheets. Full speed ahead. Sheets to my bed. How many must we sacrifice to put them to rest? Don't you see? Don't you see? Crisp sheets, white sheets, sheets to my bed. Don't you see? It's a ritual to end the lives of men. Crisp white sheets. Don't you see? This boat has the means for crisp white sheets. Full speed ahead. Sheets to my bed. Crisp sheets, white sheets. Heed my words. Don't you see? Don't you see? It's a requiem for sheets. Captain, 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 Captain,
Captain Mateus TORRES.
Captain! Crisp white sheets. Don't you see? This boat has the means for crisp white sheets. Full speed ahead. Sheets to my bed. How many must we sacrifice to put them to rest? Don't you see? Don't you see? Crisp sheets, white sheets, sheets to my bed. Don't you see? It's a ritual to end the lives of men. Crisp white sheets. Don't you see? This boat has the means for crisp white sheets. Full speed ahead. Sheets to my bed. Crisp sheets, white sheets. Heed my words. Dirty boots, dirty boots, dirty boots, 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 crisp white sheets. Don't you see? This boat has the means for crisp white sheets. Full speed ahead. Sheets to my bed. Crisp sheets, white sheets. Heed my words. Don't you see? Don't you see? It's a requiem for sheets. Captain, 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 Captain,
Captain Mateus TORRES.
Captain! Crisp white sheets. Don't you see? This boat has the means for crisp white sheets. Full speed ahead. Sheets to my bed. How many must we sacrifice to put them to rest? Don't you see? Don't you see? Crisp sheets, white sheets, sheets to my bed. Don't you see? It's a ritual to end the lives of men. Crisp white sheets. Don't you see? This boat has the means for crisp white sheets. Full speed ahead. Sheets to my bed. Crisp sheets, white sheets. Heed my words. Don't you see? Don't you see? It's a requiem for sheets. Captain, 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 Captain,
Captain Mateus TORRES.
Captain! Crisp white sheets. Don't you see? This boat has the means for crisp white sheets. Full speed ahead. Sheets to my bed. How many must we sacrifice to put them to rest? Don't you see? Don't you see? Crisp sheets, white sheets, sheets to my bed. Don't you see? It's a ritual to end the lives of men. Crisp white sheets. Don't you see? This boat has the means for crisp white sheets. Full speed ahead. Sheets to my bed. Crisp sheets, white sheets. Heed my words. Dirty boots, dirty boots, dirty boots, 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 crisp white sheets. Don't you see? This boat has the means for crisp white sheets. Full speed ahead. Sheets to my bed. Crisp sheets, white sheets. Heed my words. Don't you see? Don't you see? It's a requiem for sheets. Captain, 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 Captain,
Captain Mateus TORRES.
Captain! Crisp white sheets. Don't you see? This boat has the means for crisp white sheets. Full speed ahead. Sheets to my bed. How many must we sacrifice to put them to rest? Don't you see? Don't you see? Crisp sheets, white sheets, sheets to my bed. Don't you see? It's a ritual to end the lives of men. Crisp white sheets. Don't you see? This boat has the means for crisp white sheets. Full speed ahead. Sheets to my bed. Crisp sheets, white sheets. Heed my words. Don't you see? Don't you see? It's a requiem for sheets.
Captain, 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 Captain,
Captain Mateus Taurus.
Captain!
Crisp white sheets. Don't you see? This boat has the means for crisp white sheets. Full speed ahead. Sheets to my bed. How many must we sacrifice to put them to rest? Don't you see? Don't you see? Crisp sheets, white sheets, sheets to my bed. Don't you see? It's a ritual to...
Don't you see? You see, this boat has the means for crisp white sheets. Full speed ahead. Sheets of my bed. Crisp sheets, white sheets. My words. As you can tell, we're back in Ace Combat 7. And this time, we're here to chase down what is the actual, well-written villain in this game. Person described by Kono as the most person in the Ace Combat series. I am, of course, talking about Captain Mateus Torres. I'm pretty sure a lot of you are already familiar with. Someone who has quite a lot going on and is quite the character. So then, shall we begin? Because I'm telling you, you're gonna love this guy. He is off his goddamn meds, and it is unbelievable. This is how fucking wild this guy gets. Yes, add-on mission. Enjoy the full experience. I have finished campaign mode. Why are you saying I haven't finished campaign mode? Game? Oh wait, have I not finished campaign? Have I not finished campaign mode? We'll get to him then. We'll get to Torres. But first, let's see where we left off. Because obviously there's something we still have to do. Oh, that's what it is. We actually, for some reason, the game didn't save, or the game didn't save when we finished Dark Blue.
Everyone, listen
So
up.
we're going to have to take down Hugin and Munin real quickly first. Once that's done though, then we can go play with Mr. Torres. Play with Captain Torres. This won't take terribly long, especially because I will admit, I am playing this game with a single modification that changes how it plays very fundamentally. And there's a mod that I think that if you are familiar with this game and you want to try something different, it's something you should consider. That is the proportional navigation mod, which changes how missile guidance behaves from being the missile continuously tries to point at the target and fly towards it to actually performing lead computation and its associated maneuvers to get the missile onto an intercept course. And here's the thing, it doesn't just apply to my missiles. Also something the game applies to enemy missiles. I don't know if surface-to-air missiles are affected, but I think the answer is no, unfortunately. Although that would be fun, because then it really would be just like Ace Combat 3. So then, just to show how much of a difference this makes, we're going to be doing this mission with the F-16, the starter plane, the plane that brought us here in the first place. That, if you ask me, gets no respect. Let's check here, skins. Let's see what I have to work with. Age 1 skin, Patriot. What is this? Oh shit. It is like aircraft color designed by Bandai Namco. Permission for the use thereof has been granted by the U.S. Department of Defense. The Crow. What is this? Oh, this is, it's PJ. It's PJ from Zero. I knew I recognized that name from somewhere. Hey, I miss PJ. I'm kind of sad what happened to PJ, but he just gets shot down like that. Sure, it's reintroducing Pixie for your climactic fight, but it's just such a shame, especially the way, sure, he was spouting off all the death flags in the world, but those death flags are what make the fact that he died suck. But hey, you know, maybe carry that one. Maybe we'll make this. Maybe we'll make the name Crow less of a curse. Only one way to find out. Besides, we're fighting a raven as it is. We're fighting a pair of ravens as it is. Let's get going. Take out these last two drones and head up the tower.
Let me see that.
Faster we can do this, faster we get to deal with Matias Torres.
Got quite a few
So first things first.
See if they're sticking around too.
Soul
I don't care
3.
what country anyone's from. What counts is knowing who the real enemy is. Right, guys?
Yep.
Affirmative. I think
Everybody here knows the score.
We all
Oh,
know who to follow.
AWACS Big Eat. I love Longcaster, and I'm pretty sure the game knew that people liked Longcaster. Watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this. Watch the missiles go. Watch them go. Whoa. Oh, shit. Yeah, no, okay. Back. Get distance, get distance, get distance. Missiles away, missiles away. Boom, 2 hits. See how much more how much better missiles are in this game with the whoa! That is closer than any missile has ever gotten to me in this game since I installed this mod. Holy shit. Actually, no, not since I installed this mod. Since I first got this game, the way that missiles behave in this game makes them so much scarier. Both your own and your enemies. Ow. Holy, did it just shoot down the missile? I did not even realize they could do that. That is insane. Get back here, Hugan. I got you. Boom. Got one. One down, one down, one down. Now we just gotta take care of Mutant. Holy shit, we are burning up. Missiles out, missiles out, missiles out. Good hit, good hit, good hit. Get us around, get us around, get us around, get us around, get us around. Looks like he's tossing off his UAVs again. It's a UAV tossing off other UAVs. But watch the missiles go. Holy shit. Oh, boy. Okay, we are too far away. Hello there, Vic. How are you doing tonight? Let me get that for you real quickly. Since you are a perennial customer. You are perennial. I don't know what even the word I'm looking for. A perennial viewer. A perennial requester. I know exactly what you want. Ara. Why are you misbehaving like this, boy? Yes, perennial. You are, to put it another way, you are a frequent flyer. Okay, let's get back into this. Back around, back around, back around. Where are they? There they are. Target confirmed. Get the lock. 1, 2, 3, 4. Watch them go. I really think I was watching a video about a mod for World in Conflict called the Modern Warfare mod, and one of the crucial things that people behind it did was they implemented a fully realized and sophisticated system of missile guidance that incorporates everything from zero effort intercepts, the zero effort miss, optimal control theory, and everything associated with it. And I just look at this and I'm thinking, why is this very sophisticated and very cool, mind you? It's modeling of missile guidance in an RTS, and not just an RTS, but a mod for an RTS. Why is it that I have to go to this to find something this cool? And games that can actually benefit from this just use stupid pure pursuit guidance that misses 99% of the time and is so easy to dodge that it presents no challenge, even on the hardest difficulties. It really just makes me wonder. It's like, why can't more games have something like this? It's obvious that somebody has figured out all of the math necessary, and it's publicly available and open source. It shouldn't be that hard for somebody else to implement it in another game that would benefit from it. I mean, sure, study sims like DCS have this, but outside of that, where, you know, you're really aware of that, which can often just turn flying into almost a whole job in and of itself, where you have to prepare for it. It's not something you can just pick up and do. You have to prepare for it. You have to get ready for it. You have to be in the right mindset. Why can't more games use proper missile guidance, even if it's something that's only available on the hardest difficulty? It would make them so much more interesting. I'm sorry, but the fact that a modder was able to implement this with so much ease, and this is probably not even optimal control theory and its full derivation. This is probably just basic proportional navigation. The fact that this is something somebody was able to implement makes me really frustrated that in a series that has had proportional navigation in the past, see Ace Combat 3, hell, Ace Combat 6 had it whenever you got into the ideal shot location. Whenever they came back to Ace Combat 7, you didn't even have that. It was always pure pursuit, pure lag pursuit. And it's just immensely frustrating to me that more games, you know, that this series had this idea and they had it going, and then they just drop it. They just drop it for no reason whatsoever, and they've never used it since. It's so annoying. Oh shit, so let's go take care of this drone so we don't have to deal with the princess anymore, and then we'll go to the fun part of this game. Where are you? Where are you? There you are, Mr. Drone. Get back here. I see you, Mr. Drone. You can't run away from me. Okay, down into the tunnel we go. Where is it? There it is. We've done this before. We did this last time we were here. Now it's just a repeat of the process. Whoa, 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 whoa. Where's the damn tunnel entrance? Okay, back around, back around, back around, back around, back around. Gonna need to loop back around, just like that. Oh, yeah, spare. And you'll make it. Oh, you'll be seeing that line come back again in the future. Fuck! Fuck, 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 fuck. We crashed into the tunnel. Oh, damn it. Well, that's going to be a delay. It won't take that much longer because it's not like we have to fight the drone again. But this also means that we are now positioned to actually enter the tunnel correctly. Woo! But yes, that's what you missed, Dusk. You missed me watching a video on proportional navigation and missile guidance as implemented into the Modern Conflict mod for World and Conflict, an RTS that's at this point over 20 years old. And my frustration, damn it, I did it again. And my frustration that other games have not been able to implement even a fraction. Other games outside of highly specialized, hyper-realistic simulators, you know, like DCS, you know, have not even been able to implement a fraction of that level of sophisticated missile guidance. Rather, instead choosing to simply go with pure pursuit guidance, which is the dumbest form of missile guidance ever developed and could barely hit anything. Hello! Thank you for the follow! Let me see who that was. Reaver Captain, how are you doing today? You just missed me. I mean, you just came in at me bitching and moaning about missile guidance in Ace Combat and how a mod for World and Conflict does it so well, and I'm frustrated that no other game, pretty much no other game, has implemented anything remotely similar. Oh, God. We're working on it, Reaver. We're working on it, but I'm kind of just flopping around here, crashing into the walls while we're crashing into the walls. First, I gotta make sure I remember what the sequence of the doors is. Tunnel missions with these doors have always been like a staple of the Ace Combat series, and a large part of it is being able to predict which doors are gonna be opening, or which doors are gonna slam shut, versus which doors are gonna. We just hit the tunnel entrance again. We just hit the tunnel. Oh, shut up, Reaver. I have the F-15 in this game, but okay, you should. I'm gonna go on another rant real quickly here. The F-16 gets no respect. The F-16 gets no goddamn respect from anyone, and it is infuriating because the F-16, in the words of Dos Gringos, single seat, multi-role, fly right up their own asshole. It is, in so many ways, the F-16 for the development of modern fighter aircraft, like the F-22, like the F-35, hell, even planes like the Su-57 and J-20, if you want to go that way, the MiG-29, the Su-27. The F-16 is more important to the development of modern fighter aircraft than the F-15.
Count, give me your status.
Because not only did it establish
You're both okay.
relaxed rack stability, fly-by-wire control, the F-16 established that, and it also established our modern understanding of cockpit ergonomics with the side stick control, hands-on throttle and stick. All of these are fundamental concepts that were started in the F-16 and then backported to the F-15. So the F-16 is, in many ways, like I said, this is what I mean. The F-16 gets no respect. And yet, this thing is capable of basically flying with whoa. Basically, capable of flying with anything short of an F-35, and in many cases, winning! I picked the wrong door. I picked the wrong door. Basically, so the F-16 is capable of flying with and beating pretty much anything short of an F-35. Whether that be an F-15, an Su-27, a MiG-29, a J-11, a J-10, hell, name it. And like I said, name any 4th Gen fighter, the F-16 is probably capable of flying with it and even beating it without too much trouble.
Count, give me your status.
Alive.
Excellent, so you're both okay.
Whoa, I hit the damn door again. I keep hitting the damn door. Why do I keep hitting the damn door? I swear to God. I need to stop that. I need to stop hitting the damn door.
Count, where are you going? We rely on Trigger too much. He's gonna need help.
Serious, Count.
Yeah, well.
I mean, the Mustang is a good plane. The Mustang is a good plane. But, Reaver, can I interest you in the Corsair? Because here's the thing. Yes, the Mustang is powerful, but it's a sort of dainty, refined power. Or in the words of Kurt Tank, it's like a racehorse. It needs pampering. Damn doors. Goddamn doors. You know, it's this refined, smooth power. Radials, on the other hand, and the Corsair in particular, are much more thuggish. Let me put it that way. And the first sign you get of that is what happens when a radial engine plane sits around long enough. They don't leak oil. They mark their territory with oil. Seriously, it's like every single time I've been to the flight, there's a museum around here that has a lot of old warplanes in it, warbirds in it. And one of the things you notice there is that every single plane that has a radial engine that's in flying condition also has a tray under each of its engines to catch the oil that would otherwise spill over from it. On top of that, when a radial engine starts up, you get this huge plume of smoke and fire and fury, and it's so cool. It's so cool to see how just, these planes announce themselves. It's just like they've got this fury to them that no inline engine can see. No inline. Whoa, hello there. Oh, you were waiting for me, weren't you? Nice try, but it won't be that easy, I'm afraid. We've got a straight shot to the end here. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Counts behind me. It's gonna. First shot out. Repeater, hit. Where's the next one? Where's the next one? Where's the next one? Repeater, hit. Where's the next one? Repeater. Just keep hitting those. The drone can wait. Okay. Drone. Those have been taken care of. Good. Now where's the damn drone at? Where's the damn drone? Where's the damn drone? Ah, shit. I forgot about the walls. Guns, guns, guns. Looks like we're gonna have to do exactly what you said there, Dot Reaver. Ha ha! We got him! Down it goes!
I'm being serious here.
Where is it? 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 Where's the exit? Where's the exit? Where's the exit? Okay, it's just right through the middle. Any of these
And there's no ceiling all the
right
way
through here, just like that. Pull ourselves up.
up. I can handle it though.
Into the vertical we go! Hello!
I'll attempt to
Up
belly land.
and away!
Here, everyone's waiting
Off
for
we
you.
go into the wild blue yonder. Off we go. Ra-pa-pa-pam. I don't remember the words to Wild Blue Yonder. I'm sorry. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, well, round. Don't hit anything. Don't hit anything. We're almost clear. All we gotta do is get out of here. We're out. We're out. We're out. We're out. We're out. Go, go, go. Woo! Okay. And now we are done with the actual main campaign and can get on to the main events of tonight's show. That being Captain Matias Torres.
Damn it. Does anyone have eyes on Count?
Count's fine.
Wish y'all could have seen
He's
it.
just sitting down there in the elevator. He's alive.
What's your position?
No, not PvP, right, Reaver. PvP in this game is absolute trash. It's infested with cheaters. Every single effort that Project Aces has made to try and curtail cheating in this game has utterly failed.
Give us your coordinates.
There are so many hackers, so many cheaters in this game that it is unplayable. It is no. This is like a whole nother level of bad, Reaver. This is a whole nother level of bad. PvP has plenty of cheaters in it, but this is like more. It's a lot more. It's like every other game, you just see cheaters. Every game, just everyone on the other, everyone on both teams is just cheating. Nobody cares, K Nagase. Nobody likes you, K Nagase. Go back to space, K Nagase. I mean, you went and stopped an asteroid. Thank you very much, K Nagase. But you can stay in space, K Nagase. We don't want you out. We don't want you down here. You're annoying. I remember you in Ace Combat 5. You're part of the reason why that's the worst game in the series.
Over and over again.
It's all coming together for me. Today was the day, the moment of her return.
I salute the pilot who gave us
Yes,
all
it is that level of cheaters, Reaver. Brand new COD game. Brand new COD game level of cheating. That's how bad the cheating is in Ace Combat 7's PvP. It is horrendous. It is absolutely horrendous. Oh, look at that closing shot. Look at that closing shot. It is perfect. Flanker, flanker, flanker. Eagle F-16. So good. Oh. I will not deny that is a cool, really cool closing shot. I will not even try to claim otherwise. That is a cool closing shot, and I would be a fool to say otherwise. But now that we've finished, like I said before, we finished the main campaign, and now it is time to proceed onwards to the SP missions that I was trying to do earlier. So, skip this, skip that. We don't need any of that. SP mission. And there are 3 of these. What? Why can't I only do it on hard? Game? Why can't I? Why are you not saying I finished the game? I finished the game. Why are you not letting me say I finished the game? Yeah, whatever. It's fine. Anyways. Hard, as before. Because for some reason the game won't let me play Ace. It doesn't really matter all that much because all Ace does is make enemies a bit spongier and you die in one hit. Not that significant of a difficulty increase no matter what anybody might say. It's not like enemies get smarter, more aggressive, anything like that. That might be what the game is doing, Reaver. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, no, seriously. The difference between hard and Ace in this game, and not just this game, but a lot of Ace Combat games, is so minuscule that it's effectively nullified by the proportional navigation mod the proportional navigation mod that I'm using for this game right now. Which, by the way, I should link that because, again, if you're playing Ace Combat 7, if you played Ace Combat 7, especially if you've played it several times by now, you should definitely try this mod. The effects that it has, the effects that this has on the gameplay are so dramatic that it is. So first of all, I would say play the game as it's originally made first, as it's unmodified, then install this, then watch what happens, because this has a dramatic effect on not only your missiles but enemy missiles as well. The person who made this actually did a good job of making it too, because they made very sure to separate single player missiles from multiplayer missiles, and as a result, this doesn't fall under cheating, because it's something that only applies in single player. And although it does give you a bit of an advantage, and that it does give you some advantage, and that it lets you take shots that would otherwise miss with the normal pure pursuit missiles in this game, your enemies can also do the same. Keep that in mind. You're gonna have to do a lot more. You have to do a lot more maneuvering to actually evade enemy missiles now. There's a lot more work you have to do. A lot more thinking you have to do. There are maneuvers that you specifically have to use because of how proportional navigation works. So actually, before we continue, I think it's worth showing a visual demonstration of this. Something that gets the idea of proportional navigation versus pure pursuit and how they're different. How they differ from each other across. Proportional navigation. Let me see if I can find. There's a really good visual demonstration of this that I found the other day, and I want to see if I can find it again, because it gets the idea across very, very clearly and lets you see how proportional navigation makes missile guidance more efficient, and on top of that, that's what I'm looking for here. It makes the missile guidance more efficient, and it also goes into making your missiles more effective. Makes missiles more effective, makes them harder to evade, means that they don't burn off all their propellant in the first few seconds of trying to follow a target, because instead of going straight for that target, they actually compute what is the most efficient track to get to where it needs to be by comparing its motion to the target's motion. And let me see if I can find this real quickly to show you what I'm talking about. Proportional navigation. That word, because I know that word might pull it up. No, it's not that one. It's not that one. Where are you? I know I saw this video the other day. Where did it go? Come on. This it? I don't think this is it. Salutem pavidos, mea requies est. Salutem pavidos, mea judicium est. Expergis schemini, salutem magnus, me. Where is it? If I can't find it, then I'll just draw it for you to see what I'm talking about, because the idea is fairly straightforward. It's just that I would really like to show you this video because it shows a visual demonstration of how this system works, how this method of missile guidance works. But if I have to show it to you, if I have to just draw it out for you, I can do that as well real quickly. So actually, I'm going to do that because I can't seem to find this video. And this is something that will make a fundamental difference how missiles perform with this mod versus without this mod. So let's close that for now. Let's go to here. Let's pull up paint. Let's go window capture here. Paint. And good. Now we are in MS Paint, and this is a place where I can now demonstrate, I can now help you visualize the difference between proportional guidance and pure pursuit. Something that this mod changes from the base game. So first things first, we're going to draw two triangles. The first triangle is the plane launching the missile. The second triangle is the plane that is the plane that the missile is being launched at. So, blue triangle for launch plane, like that. Fill that because I'm lazy. Good. Red triangle for target plane. Fill it once again. Fill because I'm fucking lazy. But also rotate right 90 degrees because this will help demonstrate the importance of proportional navigation much more than if I didn't do this. So once again, do that. Fill it because I'm lazy and didn't put the fill thing there. That's fine. We're going to use two colors to demonstrate proportional navigation versus pure pursuit. We're also going to draw some lines to represent the motion of the target aircraft. And we're going to put an endpoint on that motion to show its destination as the missile, flies along its course. So the plane is going this way. And at the end of it, this represents the endpoint where, the missile eventually, hopefully, tracks to. So, yes, what explanation is that, Reaver? What explanation do you have to preface? Oh, that's why I'm doing a visual demonstration, Reaver. It's because hopefully that way, at least some of it sticks. And so when you need to ask what's going on here and what I'm doing, you aren't nearly as lost, especially because this topic of proportional navigation versus pure pursuit will be coming up again on Thursday with Children of a Dead Earth, where we will be showing it will be less visible. But in both cases, the idea is much the same. So, pure pursuit works like this. So for pure pursuit, we're going to use a green line. This green line represents how a missile launched in pure pursuit would chase the target. It goes like this, constantly pointing at the target until it eventually reaches. That's pure pursuit. Pure pursuit, essentially, that's what it is. As the missile flies off, it always tries to keep its nose pointed at the target. It's essentially, it loses the name, pure pursuit. It's always following the target, always trying to go on a direct collision course with its target, no matter where that target is going. Because of this, a missile on pure pursuit is actually quite easy to avoid. They need to have extreme acceleration and maneuverability performance to overcome their target's evasive maneuvers. Proportional navigation, on the other hand, doesn't have to do nearly as much work. We will use orange to represent proportional navigation. Proportional navigation sees the target, sees how far it's moving, and then sees which direction it's moving, how fast it's moving, and then based off of that, then computes. Make sure orange is visible. Good. Then computes an intercept course, which will take it to where it thinks the target is going. This uses much less energy and requires a much less radical maneuver to achieve. Looking more rather like this. You see how the missile only has to do that very slight initial turn and then it's flying pretty much purely straight? That is because the missile has predicted where the target is going to be approximately and is putting itself on a course where it will meet that target. However, that's because of this, there are some maneuvers that can be used to defeat proportional guidance. And this is why, in some cases, you also have what's known as augmented proportional navigation. A perfect example of how you might defeat proportional guidance is, once again, you are moving like this. So, red line. And as you are moving like this, yes, it's literally like shooting clay pigeons. Now imagine if your shotgun pellets could control themselves in flight, and your clay pigeon. So imagine if you're only able to shoot at where the clay pigeon starts. Yes, you are going to Top Gun Flight Academy, Merceau, because, like I said before, this will be coming up again on Thursday with Children of a Dead Earth. So I think the explanation merits it. This merits the explanation. That way, I can hopefully get into some more sophisticated ideas later on. Because the thing is, even with this mod, you're only talking about basic proportional navigation. You're not talking about augmented proportional navigation or optimum control theory, both of which are much more sophisticated methods of guiding a missile to defeat evasive maneuvers. So, let me show you a maneuver that you might use to try and throw off a proportionally guided missile. You see that right there? This throws a trick. This is a trick to the missile. Once again, we will use orange to represent the missile. However, as this maneuver is trying to defeat this maneuver with pure pursuit is simply pointless, and you wouldn't even have to do this sort of maneuver to defeat pure pursuit. This is a great demonstration, of how you might defeat proportional guidance. So, you are going to end. So the target aircraft ends here on this maneuver. This is sometimes referred to as an F-pole maneuver, for reference. So if you ever hear me use that term, keep in mind, oh, the energy egg. The energy egg is... If the energy egg is what I think it is, that's a whole nother can of worms, Merceau. We haven't even gotten to that yet at all. But I'm pretty sure that whatever you're talking about is right up there. Let me make sure the energy egg is what I think it is. Or if this is just a shit post. I swear to God, if this is a shit post, I'm gonna kill you. The energy egg maneuver. If this is part of EM theory, I wouldn't be surprised, because if this is part of BFM, or air combat maneuvering, I wouldn't be surprised at all. But I also get the feeling that you're throwing me for a goddamn loop here, Merceau. Yes. But yes, no, I don't know it by that term, but I do know the concept of energy maneuver. I know the concept of EM theory. Yes, this is okay, Chieftain. This is not even a shit post. This is actual, like, real shit here. So you see this maneuver that the target aircraft has done? Now, here's how that works against a proportionally guided missile. And this is why more sophisticated missile guidance systems use ideas such as where optimum control theory and where augmented proportional navigation and later optimum control theory come into play. So, proportional navigation, this maneuver, the F-pole right here. So, normally, now, what happens now is the missile now tries to predict a new course. However, you then reshift your course, and now the missile is thrown for a loop, and because of that, it no longer has the energy it needs to reach this point. So at this point, the missile no longer has the energy to reach you. It tries to maneuver back onto you, but in the process, burns off its kinetic energy and stalls, eventually self-destructing. This is why proportional navigation is not enough. And this is why even a missile that uses proportional navigation can be defeated if you know what you're doing. These sudden flick maneuvers. Actually, that's a great way of describing all these maneuvers as a category. Not the correct term for them, by the way, but this is a way of thinking of them. This is not remotely the correct term, but this is a way of thinking of them. This is a way of thinking about how these maneuvers to defeat proportional guidance work. Think of it, you can call them this. These sudden flick maneuvers. What you're essentially doing is tricking the missile into computing a new intercept and then undoing that. Because you have more energy than the missile does at the end of the day. That is a fundamental thing about missile evasion. Even in BVR combat, you always want to create a situation where you have more energy than the missile. This was also true when you're fighting other aircraft with guns. It's all about energy management. This is one of the things that John Boyd got right before he went off the goddamn rails. Of course, then he went off the goddamn rails. Saw this with some of the ideas he had as part of a group known as the Reformers. These people were insane. These people had terrible ideas like the Blitz fighter, or as one of the more prominent reformers, Pierre Spray, called it, actually this is a separate idea, or another idea by one of the more prominent reformers, Pierre Spray, a feasible tank to outnumber and outfight the T-72, a vehicle that went contrary to pretty much every idea he had been espousing up to that point, for some reason and was still not a good idea. If you want to know my opinions on Pierre Spray, actually, I'll get to that. I'll actually bring that up. My opinions not on Pierre Spray, but the reformers as a whole. Yes, good night, Reaver. Hopefully some of these ideas will stick and you'll wake up. Oh god, Spray is such a fucking moron. Spray is such a fucking moron. I don't even have the words to describe how unbelievably dumb the ideas that Pierre Spray and the other reformers have are. So, the reformers as a whole are a group of people who took issue with the way that technologically advanced weapon systems were becoming more and more incorporated into the United States Army. And they believed that the army was becoming, not the army, the US military was becoming, yes, we'll get to that, Chieftain. That's an oversimplification. We'll get to that, though. That's going to be really fucking wacky when we do, though. Trust me. That's going to be really fucking wacky when we get there. Because there's a bit more to it than that. So, the fundamental idea that the reformers had is that, like I said before, the US military was getting too dependent on technology, and that this is... Oh, Merceau, this is a hard question. This is actually a hard question because it depends on which generation. I have one for each generation. I have a favorite in each generation, and then trying to put those against each other as favorites is incredibly difficult. Okay, so I'm actually going to go through each generation and tell you a little bit about why then. I'm going to tell you what it is for each generation. First generation, F-80 Shooting Star, because it took the ideas of low drag aerodynamics and the concept and the fundamental ideas of jet propulsion and applied them into an aircraft that it worked so beautifully. And first of all, have you ever seen a Shooting Star? They're gorgeous. They're absolutely gorgeous aircraft. They have this smoothness to them. They have this I said before, yeah, they're very pretty. Okay, so that's first generation. Second generation, that's going to be the F-105, the Thunder Chief, the big motherfucker, the thing that's the size of a B-17, carries one guy and drops one bomb. The F-105 is a crazy aircraft with a crazy with its fundamental concept, was also absolutely crazy. This is a plane that was meant to fly low and fast over the borders of the Warsaw Pact into the smaller industrial cities of the Soviet Union Warsaw Pact and deliver a single nuclear warhead. It was an aircraft developed before miniaturized standoff munitions, before sophisticated guidance, or any of that. So instead of having, a missile that it drops off the plane and then goes and flies the rest of the way towards you, instead, what it does is it gets close to its target, pitches up the nose, opens the bomb bay, and this is something a lot of people don't remember the Thunder Chief has. The Thunder Chief has a bomb bay, an internal bay where weapons are located. And as it pitches up the nose, opens the bomb bay, drops the nuke out, and then continues the pull-up maneuver to fly away from the bomb. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull up paint and read it and also visualize this for you. You know what? I just hid paint away. I just realized I needed it again. So, here is how the Thunder Chief's toss bombing maneuver works. Because, this is some shit. Oh, paint, why are you not letting me see? Oh, that's why you're not letting me see. Okay, stop doing that. Please stop doing that, paint. I do not appreciate that. Home. I want to be able to see this part, damn it. Okay, so first things first. Home. Stop hiding this, paint. Oh, why are you doing this? You weren't doing this before. Doesn't matter that much. Okay, so line tool. So here, like that. This is the ground, in case you're wondering. This is just going to be the ground. This is so that I have a plane of reference to demonstrate how toss bombing works. So first of all, So that's the ground, and we're just gonna use a rectangle for the F-105 because it had all the aerodynamic prowess of a brick. So this is our F-105. We're gonna make it blue, a blue rectangle. Because like I said before, the F-105 had all the aerodynamics of a brick. We're gonna fill that because I'm lazy, and then we're gonna draw a big red rectangle that represents our target city. Because again, this is something that was meant to attack whole cities. It's not a precision bombing aircraft. It's not an aircraft made to do accurate bombardment of point targets. It was designed to deliver nuclear weapons to cities. Okay, so this is our city. This is our plane. We're going to draw a blue line to represent the course of the plane, and then we're going to draw an orange line in a moment. You'll understand what the orange line is for as we do. So, plane is approaching, plane is coming in. It forces to perform a pitch up maneuver. That's what this represents. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want that kink in there. There's not supposed to be a kink in the pitch up maneuver. Pitch up maneuver is a smooth maneuver that you do like that. It's a little bit radical, but it works. And then the plane fucking off. As the plane pitches up, we're going to use orange to represent the weapon. Plane pitches up, orange line comes off. This is the weapon. It is now on a ballistic trajectory. Comes up, and then it falls back down till it impacts the target. And of course, once this happens, nuclear detonation, radiation, fireball, shockwave, everything, people die. It's horrible. Well, it's horrible for the people that are there. It's not so horrible if, you're the one responsible for it. If you're the one responsible for it, this is a resounding... If you're the one who planned this is a resounding success. But of course, if you're on the receiving end of it, it's horrible. Because again, nuclear weapons, fireball, radiation, horror, shockwave. Look, we have plenty of footage, plenty of photographs from what happened in Hiroshima to show what happens when you get hit with a nuke. It's not pretty. But see, this is a maneuver used for... Yes. I don't know about that one, Merceau. I mean, sure, if you're the one who has to deliver the weapon or whatever, but honestly, these days, especially honestly, a person's ability to distance themselves from horrific actions is much more powerful than you might think. So, sure, there are some people whose conscience it would weigh on forever, but there's just as many people, not because they're crazy, not because they're evil, but because as people, we have the ability to distance ourselves, to dehumanize. We have the ability to dehumanize people that we consider a threat. And because of that, yeah, you probably wouldn't be chosen for the job in the first place. That's a whole other thing. That's another thing we're just gonna probably say you probably wouldn't be chosen for the job because you are more likely to have... Yes, for that very reason, you are more likely to suffer emotional trauma from the act. They're very good at choosing people who can distance themselves from their actions for these kinds of jobs. People who, and more importantly, people who can do that and are not sociopaths. People who are otherwise functional, but they have that ability to distance themselves from their actions. Even if those actions mean killing someone or killing lots of people. People you never knew. People you don't... It's the ability to treat them as if they're not people. To reduce them from people with their own lives and feelings to a threat. A threat that wants you dead. If you can think of... a person who can think of others in those terms are the people that are chosen for this kind of job. Oh, I know the song you're talking about. While we're here, I also want to talk about one of my other favorite methods of nuclear weapon delivery, because it's related to my favorite third generation jet aircraft. And as you can guess from all this, from the description, it too is a bomber. And that is the A5 Vigilante. The A5 Vigilante uses a very unique way of delivering its ordnance. Actually, the A5 might also be a second gen, so we're going to call it 2.5, and then we're going to have an actual fighter for third generation, because I'm kind of being a little too favored towards bombers here, and I kind of need to balance it out. But I want to talk about this plane. I really want to talk about this plane. That's what this comes down to. The A5 Vigilante is a very interesting and unique aircraft, particularly with the way that it delivers its payload. Instead of toss bombing or anything like that, the A5 has a wonderfully weird system for delivering nuclear ordnance onto a target. Instead of using a toss delivery or staying at high altitude, what the A5 does is it has what's called a retarded bomb. And by retarded, I mean retarded in the literal sense. This is a bomb that works like this. So this is the plane. This is before is the plane. Be a rectangle because I'm lazy. Blue for the plane. Plane is here. Again, fill it because I'm lazy and I don't want to deal with it. And line to show its course because it's not going to do any sort of maneuvering, so a straight line works here. Oh, Chieftain! Don't put yourself down like that. Don't do that to yourself. But anyways, so that's the plane, that's the direction it's moving. Bomb does something a little different. And because of what it does different, we're also going to need a rectangle to represent the bomb. Or not even a rectangle, we're going to draw a shape to represent the bomb. What it does. So actually we are going to use a rectangle for this. We're going to make it orange. And so that is our bomb. And the bomb has something unique going on. Bomb has a parachute. And this parachute, basically, parachute sticks out the back of it like this. Kind of like that. Kind of like that. I'm not going to draw a good parachute. Trust me, it's a terrible parachute. And this parachute slows the bomb down. And by slowing the bomb down, what it will do is it will, instead of continuing on the course like it would, instead of continuing on a normal ballistic path like this, which would overshoot the target, but not enough to matter because frankly, it's a nuke and overshooting is really hard to do with nukes at this kind of range. If you want to overshoot a target with a nuke where you're going to miss where it matters, you need ballistic missiles to get to the kind of computations where that's a problem. Instead, that's not what the missile will do. Not what the bomb will do. The bomb, I said missile. Yeah. The bomb does this because the parachute slows it down. Once it reaches its set burst altitude, then of course, as before, nuclear horror happens. That is the A5, and that's just something a little tangent I wanted to go on about the A5. So, back to what I was saying. Third generation fighter jets. Actual fighter jet. My favorite of the third generation, and you're gonna fucking hate me for this, Merceau. It's the MiG-21. I love the MiG-21. It's just such a neat plane. It is. There's so many things the MiG-21 does. It's such a fantastic plane. I mean, the Phantom is cool, and so the Phantom and the Crusader are cool, but the fish bed, there's something about the fish bed that's just so iconic of the era. Yeah, I know, right? You've got the nose where it comes out like that, and you got this nose cone that slides in and out as part of the shock control system. And and on top of that, it's just how damn versatile the MiG-21 was. It's all the roles got put into. Started out as an interceptor, and then from there it became a tactical fighter. It became an air superiority. It started as an interceptor, then it became an air superiority fighter. It could do ground attack. It could do a little bit of close air support. It could do all sorts of things that you would never expect a fighter jet of that vintage to do well. Something that you would need a specialized bomber plane, like you would think you would need a specialized bomber like the F-105, like the A7, like the A6 to do. No, the MiG-21, it was not made as a multi-role aircraft, but much like the Phantom, it turns out that when you make a plane big enough and with enough thrust, and you stuff enough electronics into it, it can do a lot more than it was originally designed for. This is an idea that then goes on to my favorite fourth gen aircraft, which, as you could probably guess from the rant that I went on earlier, is the F-16. I love the F-16. I love how the F-16 basically came up one day and was like, ha ha ha, I do everything. Suck my dick, choke on it. It's like, yo, I see your specialized planes there. I see all these like fancy specialist planes that you made. You know what? Yeah, multi-roll. Multi-roll. It's just a plane that could do so many things. It is the definition of versatility. It paves the way for how so many modern aircraft work these days. It paved way for a lot of the multi-role upgrades that older jets would get, and that brought them forward. People saw with the F-16 that you didn't need a specialized plane for each job. They saw it demonstrated clear as day, and it's an idea that's stuck with us ever since, where aircraft these days are now being designed for versatility rather than versatility being discovered as part of a coincidence, being coincidentally lumped in later. Planes are designed to be versatile, and that started with the F-16. Absolutely key to the F-35, which, as you can guess as well, my favorite 5th gen is the F-35. I know, that's probably controversial to some degree. Maybe not here because I'm probably preaching to the choir, but the F-35's controversy is almost entirely manufactured by people like the reformers. People who are so obsessed with this idea of quote-unquote cheap winners who think that, you could just make it cheap and it'll be great. Who cares how many people get killed? It's cheap. We'll just replace it. People are replaceable too. And that is the fundamental flaw of the reformer philosophy. It's that rather than simply treating equipment as replaceable, it also treats people as replaceable. And this is why it's a philosophy that doesn't work, especially with Western militaries. Hell, even the Russians and Chinese don't see people as, just expendable, replaceable drones that you can put into a cockpit or into a vehicle or hand a rifle and then expect them to just, run out there and die. No, these are, they still put in effort to train them, to prepare them, to equip them. The entire reformer philosophy is based on a lie. It's based on a lie that, depending on who you ask and depending on what the situation is, you might even say is a little bit racist. But that's not what we're here for. We went on a long tangent there, and now it's time for us to go after Captain Matias Torres. And we start Comberth Harbor. Unexpected visitor. Now, this is an interesting mission because this is a mission I have never actually played. I've played the other two. I've played, what are they called? Anchorhead Raid. I've played Anchorhead Raid and 10 Million Relief Plan, but I have not yet played Unexpected Visitor. So this is actually going to be a new experience for both you and me. Oh boy. I love he's like getting a call from his like AI. He's like getting a call from his Alexa. That's amazing.
So here's a question for you, Alex. How can
Alexa,
we do this without killing 3 strikes?
Sensor still hasn't recovered.
Sorry about that. I just had to take care of something there. I am right back. I am back now. Oh boy. So, looks like we're already with the LRSSG at this point. We have left Spare Squadron far behind, but we're also...
Ready now, sir.
Oh, no. Oh, you call it a meme, Merceau, but the Intruder is actually a good plane. A little bit outdated, maybe, but it's a fundamentally good plane.
Our objective is to capture an advanced submarine in harbor,
especially because a lot of the technology that enabled multi-role aircraft, while it existed, was not yet mature.
Seems like such a long time ago.
Oh boy, what are we doing here?
However,
oh yeah, no, it's so goofy. By the way, Merceau knows about this. Marceau probably knows about this, but for those of you who don't, I would highly recommend you go and watch Flight of the Intruder, because Flight of the Intruder is an excellent movie. It is the A6 Top Gun. It is the bomber Top Gun. Oh shit. So that is a big ass boat. That is a massive boat. Holy shit.
I'm an OIA analyst from Advanced Weapons.
Oh, it's a great movie. It's a great movie, Marceau. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely go watch it, because it is a movie that takes it's respected. It takes the A6 just as seriously as Top Gun took the F-14. Hey there, Kogasa. How are you doing tonight? Like a carrier. Oh shit. That's. Oh boy. 400 kilometers. That's spicy.
The sub's force projection capabilities are equivalent to a carrier strike group.
Oh.
Can approach underwater.
And on top of all that, its captain is batshit insane.
It has an unusual history befitting such a ship. It was launched 4 years ago.
Okay.
However,
When MIA on the sea try. Oh yeah, that's right. They spent.
It was later found at the bottom of the ocean by chance. Another 356 crewmen, 330 were rescued.
And so you're starting to understand why. Yes, you're starting to understand why Torres is batshit insane. I hate to disappoint you, Marceau, but as good as the CH-46 is, I'm going to actually have to go with the CH-53, just because it is such a beast of a thing. It is a helicopter. Yeah, it's an I-400 on meth. That's what it is exactly, Chieftain. It's an I-400 on crack.
We've had reports from local sources.
But yeah, no, the CH-53 is a beast of a helicopter. And on top of that, I want to say early models of it also had a boat hull. So not only were they this beastly helicopter that could practically lift the whole damn ship, it could also land on the water and be like, look at me. I am the ship now. I am the boat now. Oh, shit. Scuttle the sub? Oh. Doesn't that kind of work for us? Because if they scuttle the sub, then that means the sub is out of the fight. And I would consider that a success, wouldn't you?
They should have taught how to address superiors in boot camp.
Oh, don't be rude.
EW squadron will be deployed.
Their ESM will be... Oh, that's right. This is the mission where we have ESM. No, they're not, Marceau. The CH-53E has been around for a while. Now we're talking about the CH-53K, the King Stallion. And yes, not only does it have better engines, but ever since the CH-53E, it has 3 engines. It has 3 of them. It is so wacky looking. Because you've got the 2 where the CH-53 has them, and then just behind, I want to say it's the starboard engine. Right behind the starboard engine, and just above it, there is a 3rd engine there. Let me actually go check, because I want to check this real quickly. This is going to bother me until I check it. And plus, it'll give me a great little way of talking about how the CH-53 is a fucking ridiculous helicopter. Where is it? 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 Pull this up. That up like that. Oh, shit. Oh, also, thank you for... Thank you for the DM with the egg, Marceau. Thanks for that. Holy shit. That is ridiculous. I could already guess because of how so many diagrams look like shitposts that it was going to be silly. But, holy shit, that is on a whole other level of silly. Okay, so where is it? CH-53E. Where is the 3rd engine on this thing? I know there's a 3rd engine because I've seen it before. Yep, actually, it's on the port side. It's above and behind the port engine. But either way, it has 3 engines. The CH-53E and K have 3 engines. And yes, Chieftain, I have seen the Survivability Onion. I have talked about the Survivability Onion with people who know the flaws of the Survivability Onion. I actually... No, I am very very familiar with just how silly the survivability onion is. Or not even how silly, but you know, how silly, how much of a meme the survivability onion is. Because sure, there are some fundamentally good ideas there, but the representation of them is so oversimplified and more importantly, so goofy that you can't take it seriously. Because either you're A, pointing out what the survivability onion leaves out, or you're falling over laughing over just how ridiculous this diagram is. Fuck, I thought we were getting away from MS Paint now, but no, right back into MS Paint we go, because you guys need to see this thing. You guys need to see this thing. Those of you who don't know what the survivability onion is, you need to see what the survivability onion is. So we're going to need some layers here. First layer is blue. Actually, no, first layer is purple because I like purple onions. Oh, I wish, Merceau. I wish. Okay, but anyways, so onion. It looks like an onion, right? Kind of like that. That's an onion. This is the first layer of the survivability onion. We're just going to fill them in because otherwise you're going to get a little bit lost. And I'm not going to write what they mean because that would take way too long. The nuclear response durian. God damn it, Merceau. God damn it. Okay, so that's our first layer of the onion. This is the next layer of the onion. It's blue because I say it's blue. This up, pull that up. Then we need green for the next layer. Okay, green is that one. Then we need yellow. Yellow. Fill as well. Orange. Orange, just like that. Again. Fill that. And then red. Red is the final layer of the onion. This is a terrible onion. This onion has problems. Sir, this onion is defective. Give me a new onion. I want a different onion. The atomic response watermelon. God damn it, Dusk. But, so let me explain each of these layers of the onion. Because the onion is a bit of a meme. The onion is a bit of a meme, but it has some fundamentally good ideas. Situational awareness, baby back ribs. God damn it, Merceau. You keep this up, we're going to be here forever. But anyways, so this is the survivability onion. The survivability onion goes as follows. The first layer, purple. Don't be seen. That means exactly what you think it means. It's, you know, it's how do you make sure it's camouflage, it's deception, it's positioning, it's basically all those things where it's like, how do you keep the enemy from knowing where you are? How do you conceal your position so that by the time the enemy realizes that you're there, it's already too late? That's the first layer. The second layer, don't be identified. Don't be identified, which means, don't be identified, which is basically, you know, how do you make yourself, even if your enemy can see you, how do you make it so that your enemy doesn't realize how much of a threat you are? So, for example, if you're in a tank, how do you make the enemy think, for example, that what they're looking at might be a truck? How do you make them think that, you know, it's something they don't need to worry about? Or more importantly, or in other ways, how do you make yourself look like you're not a threat? That's the second layer. Don't be engaged is the third layer. Don't be engaged. How do you keep the enemy from getting a firing solution on you? How do you keep the enemy from getting a target fix on you? And so that even if they know you're there, they know you're a threat, how do you keep them from being able to do something about you as a threat? That's don't be engaged. Don't get hit. Don't get hit is a combination of multiple things. It could be positioning. It could be positioning. It could be active protection. It could be so many things. Basically, the enemy has seen you, identified you as a threat, and fired at you. How do you keep them from, how do you make sure they miss? How do you make sure their shots are wasted? That's don't get hit. Don't get penetrated. This is second to last layer. This is the layer where armor comes into play. This is the layer where, you know, you've been shot at, you've been hit. How do you stop that hit? How do you protect yourself from that hit? Yes, don't get penetrated. Don't get penetrated, Kogasa. Ogres are, in fact, like onions. Don't get penetrated. Don't get killed. And then the last layer. Don't get killed. You've been seen. You've been identified. You've been engaged. You've been hit, and your armor has been penetrated. What do you do to make it so that that penetration doesn't mean you die? For example, are you familiar with the blowout panels on the M1 Abrams? They are a perfect example of that final layer. That final layer of the onion, the onion is don't get killed, and the Abrams has a unique way of doing that. I'm gonna draw a crude Abrams turret for you. Don't worry, it's not a good one. I know it's not a good one. That's the front of the turret. The gun goes here. It comes out like this. You know, like that's the gun. Dong. There's a thingy on the gun too. Like right there. That's the thingy on the gun. It's not important, but I want to draw it anyways. Fight me. And then on the back of the turret, right here, you have a pair of what look like big rectangles. These big rectangles are one of the things the Abrams has, so that even if it's been hit and its armor has been penetrated, it might, emphasis might, not kill the crew. It entirely depends on the direction you've been hit and penetrated from. So these blow-up panels work like this. We're going to shift perspective now. Actually, we're not going to shift perspective. Is you have that, and then you have that with black, fill, solid color. I guess not. Okay, whatever, fine. You have this inside the turret. This is inside the turret. And to show that, we're also going to draw a second turret, which is like, no, not like that. It's like, that's close enough. And it goes like that, and then it goes like that. That's our turret from the side. Don't worry about it. I know it looks crappy. Fine, that just represents... So this is the side of the turret. And this is the panels again. Back here is where you have your ammunition. And then inside the turret, like I said before, is a bulkhead. It is essentially a piece of armor with a door on it. And when that door is open... Thank you, Chieftain. Thank you so much. I know it's a shitty representation, but it's not meant to be it's not meant to be accurate. It's meant to be representative. It's an abstract representation of how the turret works. It's fine. So it's fine. It's absolutely fine. So normally, I want to draw a second turret as well for comparison's sake. And this will just be a shitty little turret that doesn't matter all that much. But you know what? I'm going to make it something like that, and then it goes like that. It's like an M60, but shitty. There's none of that here. There's a bit of ammo here, and then the rest is in the hull down here. Right, that's the ammo on the M60, right? Well, the M60, if you hit this ammo, say like that, not like that, no. Like this, you hit the ammo. Well, there's nothing between the ammo and the crew. And that means the ammo blows up, it kills the crew. The tank is now dead, along with the crew inside of it. The blowout panels, on the other hand, you hit the ammo, like before, like that. But now, this is between the crew and the burning ammunition. And this is a heart, and up here are the blowout panels. And for the blowout panels provide an easier exit for the burning fumes, burning gases and shit from the ammo to go out of. And this means, even though that ammo is gone and needs to be replaced, your crew are still alive. You know, your crew are still alive. And that means that the crew can escape. And this is one of the fundamental flaws of the survivability onion. Because the survivability onion, we're going to go back to that real quickly. Survivability onion's main flaw is as follows. Treats outer layers as more important than inner layers. This is why the survivability onion is not perfect. Leads to neglect of inner layers. And why, although useful for getting the abstract idea across, for the idea of integrated survivability and how survivability as a concept is more than just armor, it is It is a flawed concept that needs to be expanded upon and only used as a quick reference rather than an elaborate or exhaustive guide. Because at the end of the day, if you try and treat the survivability onion as more than just a quick and dirty guide, it can get you killed. Because, like I said, you place so much importance on these outer layers that you then ignore the inner layers, and you think that if we emphasize the outer layers, if we, for example, let's say we made a tank that's invisible. Then somebody who takes the survivability onion too seriously might say, oh, well, if the tank's invisible, then it doesn't need armor. It doesn't need any sort of protection. It doesn't need jammers. It doesn't need active protection systems. No. Just because your outer layers are... Just because the outer layers of the... You've done something that addresses the outer layers of the survivability... The one aspect of... I'm going to get away from the term survivability onion real quickly, because it is, again, a flawed oversimplification. Because you have addressed one aspect of integrated survivability does not mean that you can ignore the others. You cannot focus on just one part. Yes! 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 That is a much better metaphor. It's still only a quick and dirty guide, but Stromboli is a perfect metaphor for how integrated survivability works. Yes, you have layers of survivability, but you don't want to neglect any one of those layers. You don't want to put all the importance on any one of those layers. All of those layers need to work together, because if they don't, then people will die. Equipment will be lost. You will lose the war, because you're falling into the trap of, for want of a nail. And because of that, you have doomed yourself to failure. But now that we've gone off onto another tangent like that, let's go meet Captain Torres. We've been drawing this out for too long now. Okay, what are we gonna take here? We have a few options actually. And I don't know what's actually good for this mission. Oh, we also have DLC planes, by the way, in case you want to see any of these. This is a plane that you actually get for finishing the game. It's called the ADF-11F. Remember those drones that we fought earlier? This is basically one of those, but not a drone. It's like, what if we took that drone from the end of the game and stuffed a cockpit into it? That's what this is. On top of that, then we have the Falcon, making its return from Ace Combat 5. And as much as I don't like Ace Combat 5, I like the Falcon a lot. It's a good-looking plane, especially because you don't actually get to see its big gimmick here. Yes, prototype coffin systems indeed, Chieftain. Because, as you can see, yes, this has no canopy. Each of those little dots is a camera. And inside the cockpit, you have a screen that each of those cameras is connected to, and they all come together to create virtual image of what you're seeing outside. Now, this does have some fundamental flaws as an idea, and there's a very good reason no real aircraft uses this system. However, this system is similar to the system found on the F-35 called EO-DAS. EO-DAS works like this. Instead of having all of the cameras around the cockpit area, you have a traditional cockpit, and then you have cameras on the front, sides, rear, top, and bottom of the plane that look around. These then project an image onto the pilot's visor that shows them what they would otherwise not be able to see, or at least a representation of what they can't see. Even if it's not showing the direct image, it's showing them the important parts. It's showing them what matters. Yes, EO-DAS is Yes, it lets you see through the floor. It lets you see missiles too. It's a way that lets you see not only if a missile is coming after you, it can show you what, say, like it projects an arrow on your visor. It shows you the direction the missile is coming from. And based on that, you can then decide what your evasive maneuver is going to be. It is such a cool system. I love EO-DAS so much. It is so cool. Where else were we? Okay, so then we have the F-18, which it's a Hornet. I love the Hornet. You have the F-16 like before. You have the F-15. Why are there? Wait, are there two F? No, there's not. Okay, it just puts the F-16 after the F-15, even though you start with the F-16 and get these planes later. It's just putting them in alphabetical order for some reason, I guess. Okay, let's just do that. Alphabetical order. That way we know what we're dealing with here. F-104C. This is the plane that the game has in here for reasons. I don't hate the F-104, but the fact the reason the F-104 is in the game at all is kind of weird. It's a plot thing. It's a strange plot thing that I'm actually not that fond of because I don't like the character that's associated with this plane. They're kind of annoying. They're not as bad as Nagase from Ace Combat 5, but they're still kind of annoying. That's a shame because I like the F-104 a lot. I mean, based lawn dart is pretty based. Yeah, the chick from the intro. She's a little annoying. I don't like her. But yeah, no, it's based lawn dart. And I really don't like that it's associated with what's kind of an annoying character. Speaking of which, though, it does have some good weapons. But for this mission, it's not a plane we're gonna want to fly because, much like the real thing, it has the aerodynamics of a brick. It flies terribly, and it is so apparent how badly it flies to anybody that's watching that it's kind of painful, especially when you compare it to even the F-16, even the F-4. The F-4 is significantly more maneuverable than the F-104. To the point, and remember, the F-4 is what planes like the F-16 and F-15 were compared against to show how, yeah, it really likes straight lines. It really likes straight lines. No, it doesn't just like straight lines, chieftains. It likes straight lines that go up. It likes to climb. It likes to climb a lot. It's basically a drag racer. In fact, this plane is the version from the intro. And as you can see by my inability, I didn't want to do that. Why did I press B? Start mission. Let's go back into the hangar. As you can see by the fact that I can't equip it, it's a completely unarmed plane. Avril rescued from the aircraft graveyard spent over 8 years restoring and hope and finding her drag racer into the deep blue sky. Because the aircraft is not equipped with any weapons, it can only be used in free flight mode. Basically, we can't use this thing. But look at that shiny bare metal paint job. This is something that, by the way, would go away after a while. Yes, it is, Merceau. I don't have it at this point in time, but let me show you where it is on the aircraft tree. Hello, Tyranitar. Yes, it is very dead. It is beyond dead. It is so dead. The online component of Ace Combat 7 is so dead that not even the best, like, there is no way that's coming. It is beyond dead. It is so infested with cheaters that, let me check actually, Chieftain. Let me check how old Ace Combat 7 is, because I'm kind of curious now myself. Ace Combat 7 came out and, oh my god, why is this taking so long to load? Why is Google taking so long to load? Google, are you under attack right now? Are you being attacked? Are you being hit with like a DDoS attack? Or is that just because of, no, it's not because of OBS. Because OBS, if it was just OBS, then Wikipedia would have problems loading as well. But Wikipedia loads just fine. So yeah, it's 3 years old. Okay. So it's not as old as I thought it was. But yeah, it's a 3-year-old game, and cheaters have destroyed it destroyed the online component. Granted, there wasn't much of an online to begin with. It was just very basic PvP dogfights. It's not like you had proper integrated, not like you had objectives or anything like that to do. It was just pure team deathmatch. But yes, the Typhoon is right here. And let's see what it actually has loaded, what kind of weapons it has. So, long-range air-to-air missiles. So all of the weapons in the Ace Combat series are sort of simplifications. None of them are actually called the actual weapon they are. Rather, they're described by their functionality. So for example, on the Typhoon, you have the long-range air-to-air missile. That's probably the Meteor, the MBDA Meteor, which is a big radar-guided ramjet missile that they developed for the Typhoon that's kind of a beast of a thing. It's massive. It's absolutely enormous. But it's worse than the new AMRAAM. It's not as good as a 120D. It's actually slightly worse. For all the work they put into the Meteor, the 120D is just a little bit better. Oh, Europe. I love that Europe has actually started, reinvesting in some of this stuff. They kind of realize that, no, they can't just sit back and let the US handle all their problems for them. But that's a whole other thing, and I don't want to get too political. Like I said, notice I don't say don't get political. I say don't get too political. So like I said, little brief political jokes and mentions like that, of stuff like that, that's one thing. Don't start fights. That's the big thing. Like I say, don't be a pendejo. That's what I really ask of you. Don't be a jackass. What I ask of everybody who comes and watches, just don't be a jackass. Oh, yes. The Eurofighter is actually kind of a cool plane. Yeah, I know. Now, the Eurofighter, I am going to get a little political here, but I'm going to avoid getting too aggressive. Because the Eurofighter has some problems. And a lot of those problems are related to how it was developed. So the Eurofighter was originally developed as a joint venture between Britain, Germany, France, and Italy, among others. As it was going to be the new fighter jet, the new fighter for Europe. Its development started at the, right around the end of the 80s. Then, then the end of the 80s happened. The Soviet Union collapsed. Okay, let me have a look at this, Merceau, because I bet this is gonna be some shit. France be like, yes. That is one of the fundamental problems with the Eurofighter. That is one of the big problems with the Eurofighter. And no, Kogasa, the Italians were not the problem with the Eurofighter. The problem is the French. Because what the French did is they eventually, the French made a lot of demands that the other countries involved in the Eurofighter were not willing to go along with. So eventually, the French decided... God damn it, Kogasa. Well, eventually, the French decided, we're going, screw you guys, I'm going home. And they go off, take the development work they've already done on the Eurofighter, and apply it to their own fighter, which you can actually see down here. The Rafale. Notice how similar they look. Notice how similar these two planes look? That's not an accident. That's not an accident at all. That's because the Rafale is based on a lot of the work the French did on the Eurofighter before they left. So they look similar because they started off as the same plane. That day won't be anytime soon, Kogasa. I know it's tragic. That day won't be anytime soon. Oh, by the way, I should also just take a second. Okay, good night, Dusk. Go and have some sleep. Go get some sleep. You obviously need it. Like I said, you got work in the morning. But like I said, so the Gripen, I want to take a moment to clown on the Gripen. I want to take a moment to clown on the Gripen because the Gripen is overrated as hell. It is one of the most overrated planes ever developed, ever made. Not because it's bad, not because it's a bad plane, but because the Gripen has a fundamental issue. And that fundamental issue is that the Gripen is too small. It's too small to be a useful plane for anybody but Sweden. It is so specific to the needs of Sweden in the 1990s. And I'd say Sweden in the 1990s because arguably the Gripen is actually no longer suitable for modern day Sweden. But it is so specific to the needs of Sweden in the 1990s that it's useless for everyone else. They're better off buying F-16s or hell, just look at what Finland did recently. They chose the F-35, and as a result, Saab's stocks crashed. They crashed so hard because Saab was banking on Finland choosing the Gripen to be their new fighter jet. That didn't happen. And now, yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah, they crashed. They collapsed. They crashed hard. Saab lost a lot of money on that day because, like I said, they were expecting so much. They were so expectant that Finland would choose the Gripen to be their new fighter jet. Actually, Kogasa, I wanna talk about the F-104 again now because of that, and I'm kind of mad at you for making me want to talk about the F-104 because of that. So we're gonna have to go back to the F-104 and talk about the F-104. This is your fault, Kogasa. This is your fault. So the F-104. Remember how I was calling it the lawn dart earlier? Well, it turns out that the F-104's design being so optimized for rapid climb and high speed means that it is an incredibly difficult plane to land. You see those stubby little wings? You see those right there? You see those? They don't work when you get below like 200 knots. Once you get below 200 knots, these don't work anymore. And as a result, when you're landing the F-104, you have to come in extremely fast. You have to come in so fast that you think you're going to crash. That's how fast you come in landing. A lot of pilots didn't realize this, and they tried to land it as if it was one of the other planes they were used to. They tried to land it like it was an F-86 or like it was a G91 if you were European. Let's say you were an Italian pilot that, have recently got cross-converted onto the F-104. You have previously been flying G91s. You try and land the F-104 like a G91 or an F-86, you're going to crash because you're going to slow down so much because you're trying to get to the landing speed you're used to. The plane stalls and then it drops like a rock. And you're not going to be able to pick up speed to get yourself out of that stall quickly enough to avoid the crash. So your only option at that point is to reach between your legs, pray you're up high enough, and hit the bang seat. Once you've done that, though, well, you're hopefully safe and out of the plane. There was a specific... No, actually. No, Tyranitar. There is not a height requirement like that. In fact... You want to know a little dirty secret about being a pilot a fighter pilot Tyranitar? Shorter people are better at it. Short people are make better fighter pilots. And the reason for this is because of how G-forces work. When you're short, the blood, yes, short people and smaller, Kogasa. So generally you'll see the 6 foot tall person, like the person looks kind of like a male model or like a model, like that 6 foot model. Those are your display squadron. And they choose those people because they're showing off. That's to show off. That's not a practical combat thing. You look at them and then you go look at a combat pilot. A combat pilot is more Mario than Luigi. Very short, very wide. Not very short, but a bit short, very wide. That's your combat pilot. That's somebody who, because of their height and their dimensions, they're less affected by G-forces. The blood doesn't leave their brain as quickly as it would for a taller person. That means they have an advantage over people who would over their taller counterparts. But anyway, so yeah, that's the 104. Also, I should also mention the German F-104, because the German F-104, the F-104G, has its own problems. The F-104G, rather than simply having the problems of the F-104, took the problems of the F-104 and stacked more on top. Because the Germans wanted the F-104 to do a lot more than it was originally designed for. They wanted it to be able to do ground attack missions and even carry nuclear weapons. They didn't own the nuclear weapons, but it's like the Germans were expecting to use the F-104 when the U.S. was going to say, hey, it's time for nuclear war, they were going to stick the nuclear weapons on the F-104s. That was the idea anyways. And as a result, the German F-104 was heavier and, because of where the weight was located, less stable. On top of that, it was discovered that the training program for F-104 pilots in the German Air Force did not cover landing at night and in bad weather. Two conditions that are, how do I put this, very common in Europe. Nighttime happens everywhere, but in the middle of Central Europe, you're going to have to land in the rain a lot. And pilots having no training on that sort of thing meant that a lot more German F-104s crashed than pretty much any other Air Force's F-104s. It was, to put it simply, not great. Okay, so that's the tangent taken care of. Let's see what we're actually going to take out to fight. Let's see what we're going to take out to go say hi to Captain Torres. No. You know what I think we're going to use? Just because it is, sort of the plane. We're going to use the F-15E. Yes, Kogasa. You joke. That's what they actually did. Because before, they were training pilots in Nevada. They were training pilots out of the middle of the desert, where, even at night, it's clear. It's super clear. There's no rain. There's no wind. It is gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous at night. But as a result, every landing you do is in perfect weather. So you never get any training on how to land in a storm or in a blizzard or anything like that you might need. It's falling through with China. I wonder why. Aircraft. Oh, we can't select a skin. That's weird. But okay, fine. Fine, I guess. F-15E, let's go. Aircraft prep complete. You're cleared to taxi. Yeah, it fell through. I wonder why. Ooh, unexpected visitor. This will be our first encounter with Captain Torres. And, it's sure to be an interesting one. Just you wait. Operation Sighthound. First things first, we've got to clear out the targets in the port and make way for naval forces to get in there and try and take control of the port. Requiem. Requiem for what?
As soon as we're ready.
Torres? Torres, what are you doing? Torres, what are you doing? Torres? Torres? What the hell's going on, Torres? What are you planning? That's a perfect intro, by the way. It's a Requiem. Honestly, with the way that they did these extra missions, I get the feeling that they were kind of disappointed. 5 minutes late? Okay, I can work with that. I've had worse. I've had to deal with worse. Oh my God, that is a lot. That is a lot of enemy aircraft. Shit. Okay. Let's get into the shit and go. We're in a ground attack loadout, which means that any sort of aircraft engagements like this are gonna have to be with just our Sidewinders. Good thing this game isn't realistic, and we have over 100 of them to play with. I'll take that for sure. There they go. Another one down. YF-23. Come in. Missiles away. So you see how these missiles are actually doing that. Remember my explanation of proportional navigation from earlier? You can actually see how the missiles are computing the lead to actually engage the targets more efficiently. Bombs away.
Shut your trap and keep shooting.
Move. That sudden flick, just like that. Back to air targets. Hello, Typhoon. Are you ready to die? Guns, 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 guns. Oh, we missed. We missed. Here we go. Okay, okay, okay. Pull away, pull away, pull away, pull away, pull away. Hornet down. Where's the missile coming from? Where's the missile coming from? You can see it right there. Watch this. That right there, that flick right there throws the missile off. And that's why, in some cases, even though I call Pure Pursuit a primitive or bad missile guidance technique, it's not that simple, actually. What you might want to do sometimes is have the missile start with proportional navigation. And actually, this allows me to talk about missile guidance staging, because you might actually have 3 stages. You can have up to like at least 3 stages of missile guidance. For example, you would have what I might call the boost phase. The weapon is separate. The weapon separates from the aircraft. The motor fires, and then it's accelerating. That's the boost phase. Then you have the mid-course phase. The weapon, the motor cuts out. The missile is now gliding. It has no power, and it's relying on the energy it's built up in the boost phase to continue its maneuver. That's mid-course. And then, once it gets close enough to the target, depending on the missile, you might have what's called a dual-pulse rocket motor, where the first stage, the boost phase, only burns half the rocket. And then, for the terminal phase, which is the end, where, the missile is finally trying to get in on the target, you might have a second burn, which is what, like I said, that's what's called the dual-pulse rocket motor. And that second burn is what brings the missile back to life and lets it sort of maintain its energy for the last part of the engagement. This is why sometimes what you might see is what you'll see is a missile will use proportional or augmented proportional navigation for its boost and mid-course phases, and then once it thinks it's close enough, there might be a reason for the missile to instead decide to go pure pursuit, depending on what the angle of attack looks like, proximity to the target, accuracy of the weapon, how much energy it has to burn to get close to it, so how much delta V it has, and so on. These are all concepts we will be expanding upon again Thursday with Children of a Dead Earth. So be there if you want to understand these ideas better. I'm hoping at least that I'll be able to explain them at least in a somewhat satisfactory manner, because oh shit, looks like we've got EW or
The EW aircraft have strong ESM on board.
excellent. I won't be needing it.
Missile range, homing, and more.
Okay, let's see what we got here. Hello, F-15. Hello, Strike Eagle. Die. Goodbye, Strike Eagle. Coming on to the next one. Like that. By the way, electronic warfare is one of those things that I can't talk about. I mean, literally. I don't know anything about electronic warfare. And more importantly, even if I did know anything about electronic warfare, if I talked about it, or at least if I talked about it in detail, I would get a very nice knock on the door by men in dark suits. And I don't want that. I really don't want that. Ooh, okay. Watch them go. Watch them. Oh, hello, F-35. Watch this, watch this, watch this. Boom. Another one down. Hello, another F-35. What are all these F-35s doing here? Bonk. Another F-15. Ooh, what are you up to? Back over this way, back along here. 1, 2. Oh, we didn't even need the second one. I guess somebody else must have gotten a hit on it before I did. Oh, well. Yeah, thank God we're not fighting UAVs. UAVs get kind of annoying in this game after a while. So, how many fighters are left? Okay, it looks like the other group is clustered around the other EW plane. And they are going to be just as much trouble. We got Raptors. Here we go. Ooh, can't get that one. Move on to the next one. Missiles away. Missiles out. Missiles out. Okay, first target down. Coming onto the second one. Crank, 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 crank. Do the flick just like that. Perfect. Generate good geometry. Oh, actually, Kogasa, I actually have been following that as well. So, would you like to know a little bit more about that? Would you like to know a little bit more about that? Because it is insane. The Russian collapse, the failures of Russian signals security in Ukraine is unbelievable. So signal security is a fundamentally important idea about, as the name suggests, making sure the enemy can't listen in on what you're saying. It's something that was proven to be exceptionally important in World War II, and ever since, everyone has taken it incredibly seriously. Apparently, except the Russians in Ukraine. I guess they were so arrogant about how the Ukrainians would respond when they rolled into Ukraine, they didn't bother to perform their usual signal security practice to keep up with their usual signal security practices. As a result, they have been suffering a lot. They have been suffering from a lot of incredible blunders. Because if a bunch of ham radio guys can listen in on what the Russians are saying, you can bet your left nut that the Ukrainians are listening in on it too. A lot of this is because it turns out what the Russians probably did is they thought, hey, this isn't going to be a lot of Russian field grade officers and logistical personnel. A lot of Russian logistical officers they were thinking this isn't going to be. They were never told that this was actually going to be a military operation. They were probably told, like a lot of the other people, oh, this is just a training exercise. It doesn't matter. And as a result, what they did was the money that was supposed to go towards buying encrypted digital radios, they pocketed it, and then they went to Baofeng, a Chinese manufacturer of radios that's actually quite popular. And they probably did was they went to Baofeng and they said, just give us a shitload of the cheapest radios you have. And then they handed those out to the guys. Results have been absolutely comedic. If you actually want to listen in on it, I can tell you where to go and I can tell you what frequency to use as well. Let me just pull that up real quickly. WebSDR, wideband WebSDR. Go here, and you go, where's OBS at? There's OBS. You go here, and you put in this frequency. USB is for upper sideband, and that, if you listen in on that, you will be able to periodically hear what Russian communications are saying. It is insane. The fact that this is even possible is insane, but it gets worse. It gets so much worse than that, because along with the fact that the Russians are not using encrypted radios, it turns out a lot of their complicated and a lot of their advanced electronic warfare equipment, notably the Krasucha 4 wide spectrum jamming device, have been abandoned and found by the Ukrainians. And better still than that, they didn't wipe any of the data. So, you want to know what happened as soon as the Ukrainians found that thing? They put it on a truck and they sent it west. And they were like, hey, you want this thing? Give us more stuff and you can have it. And we gave them more stuff, and now that advanced electronic warfare, that advanced electronic warfare system is probably somewhere in Nevada. It's probably somewhere in Nevada by this point, being taken apart by guys who have signed more paperwork than any of us will ever sign in our lives. It's insane just how badly the Russians have flopped on basic ideas like signal security and oh shit. Watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this. That turnaround right there, that's still that same sort of sudden flick that throws off proportional navigation. Oh shit, this Raptor's glued to my ass. No, sir, no you do not. We are way too close to that thing. Harriers? I am so mad about the Harrier being... You know, the Harrier's been in pretty much every Ace Combat game, but we've never been allowed to fly it. And that makes me sad to this day. Like, I want to fly the Harrier. I want to fly the Harrier, Namco. Let me fly the damn Harrier. Please. Just let me fly the Harrier. Is that so much to ask for? Let me fly the Harrier. Bonk. Another one down. SC-57. Bonk. Bye. Go this way, go this way. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Bonk. Oh, shit. Okay, it's another F-15. It's not the Raptor from earlier. Bye. Bonk. Ooh, what do we got? Oh, the Harriers are going after. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. We need to actually take care of the Harriers. That's a problem. Holy shit, that's a lot of Harriers. That is a lot of Harriers. Jesus. Flares, flares, flares. Ooh. First one's down. First one's down. This is probably not going to be good. I brought the right plane. I probably brought the right plane for this mission, but I thought there were going to be more ground targets than there were, so I brought the wrong weapon, and now it's kind of kicking my ass. Ooh! Up, 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 up. Tyranitar. I'd like to introduce you to a concept called whataboutism, because that is what you've done there. What you've done here. You have engaged in, you have fallen for whataboutism. Whataboutism is a common propaganda tactic used first by the used prominently by the Soviet Union. And how do I put this? Used probably by the Soviet Union to try and deflect away from their own failures. And I'm actually going to use this. So the classic example of whataboutism is after the Soviet disaster in Afghanistan, when people were asking them about what happened there, one of the first things a lot of the Soviets would do is this is a more pertinent example. What they would do is to say, but what about Vietnam? Fundamental difference between what happened in Afghanistan and what happened in Vietnam. Yes, actually, Kogasa, it is. It is very heavily used by the Chinese. But anyway, so what happened in Afghanistan that's fundamentally in Soviet-Afghan war versus what happened in Vietnam is that the Soviet-Afghan war saw Soviet forces unprepared for the kind of war they were getting into, suffer tremendous losses due to incredible arrogance. Whereas what happened in Vietnam, and by extension Afghanistan in the recent US withdrawal from Afghanistan, is that the ally that we were trying to prop up, whether it be the Vietnamese government or the Afghan government, just quit. Afghan commanders were bribed to abandon their positions, and as a result, the Taliban, as soon as we left, just rushed in with no opposition. That is the fundamental difference between what's happening in Ukraine and what happened in Afghanistan. That is why these two things can't be compared. What's happening in Ukraine is a direct failure of the Russian military and of Russian military planning and Russian command, whereas what happened with the US and Afghanistan recently is what happens when an allied government loses all of its support domestically, and the only thing that's been keeping it alive leaves. That is the fundamental difference between what's happening in Ukraine and what's happened in the Middle East. And it's one of those things that's very easy to miss. So I understand how you could miss it. It is not. It is not a simple concept. It is not at all a simple concept. And it's very, very easy to fall for what somebody else might try to convince you about.
Keep the enemy away from our ships.
Salutem pavidos, ea requies est. Salutem pavidos, ea judicium est. Expergis schemine, saltem magnus. Hey there, Vic, I see you're back. How are you doing tonight? How are you? What you go off and do? You go off and do. I love that little head pat. I love that little head pat emote. That's great. Okay, get back around to the Harrier. Bonk. Okay, we gotta hit it one more time. Back around, come back around, come back around. Bonk. Done. Okay, that takes care of the Harriers. Next step, kill the jammers. Probably won't be able to get a missile lock on these things, but we're gonna try anyways. Man, our rate. Oh shit. Okay, that works. I guess we get close enough, and it still just works. And come back around. Get this Harry. Get this jammer next. Torres, what are you doing? Torres, what the hell? Torres, what the hell are you doing? Gunnery is killing the people on board. Torres. Torres, what are you planning? You planning, Torres? I don't like that. I don't like. Pull back. Faster than the Harriers. Okay, let's kill this last Harrier and get lined up for the attack. Yep. See how the jamming makes our lock take longer? So once we have a lock, the missile is just fine. Okay, ignore the jammer. Go for the strike planes. Go for the strike planes. We've taken care of most of the jammers. This one can wait. Salutem pavidos, ea requies est. Salutem pavidos, ea judicium est. Expergis schemine, saltem magnus, ea ultra. Oh, I see what you're doing. Sir, I'm going to need to ask you to leave. That is rude. Please stop. Thank you. Boom. Oh, good. There's actually just two planes flying really close. I thought that was actually them being clever with the jamming. Oh, okay. Bonk. One down. Let's see how many more we got to go. Target submarine. Oh, shit. Is the Alicorn moving? Torres, what are you doing? Torres.
That's good news.
So I associate. Here's the thing, Tyranitar. I actually know nothing. Consider me an idiot. I am an idiot. I know nothing. Except what I know is less important than who I know. And I know people who study this, who do this as their job. And I've talked to those people. I've associated with those people. And as a result, I've learned a lot. Everything I'm saying is not things I know. It's things I've learned from talking to people who actually know, who actually understand what they're talking about. Because they have access to things that I don't, and they have made their careers out of this sort of, the intense, deep study of whether it be military equipment, the politics of war, etc. And as a result, I've learned a lot from them. I have learned an incredible amount from these people. Bonk. And if you know where to look, you can probably find some of these people as well. However, I don't think they're actually... Yeah, no. So a lot of them gather on two sites. So a lot of them gather on two places that I really like. One is a forum called Sturgeon's House. Now, Sturgeon's House, the forum itself, is kind of dead, but even though there's been no new posts there, there's a lot of excellent reading you can do there about how military equipment works, how military theory works, differences between the strategic ideas, not just the equipment, because it's very easy to over focus on the equipment, on the actual like machines, but you can also see things about the politics of conflict. You can see there's really good reading politics of conflict on the how different armies. Thank you for the follow, Tyranitar! On the politics of conflict, on strategy, on how logistics work, and how so many people don't think enough about logistics, which is a tragedy because as we can see right here, as we can see in Ukraine right now, we are seeing what happens when logistics fail. Yeah, you can actually learn a lot from that, but you can also fall into a trap, Kogasa. You can very easily fall into a trap with history. Oh shit, I know who those are. I know who those are. Oh boy, here come Rage and Scream. Oh boy. I'd kill you if you weren't my brother. Oh, come on, you two. Settle down. I got plenty of ordnance for both of you. Where are they? Rage, Scream. There they are. Hello, Scream. How are you doing? No, the Su-47 is an interesting aircraft, in large part because, for as cool as it looks, it's actually not that good. It's not an effective combat aircraft. It was actually developed as a... Yes, I did scream, and I'll do it again. Flares out, flares out. You're a cheeky one. Bonk. Down you go. Get the hell out of here. Where's Rage at? Where are you? Rage. Rage, 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 rage. Where are you? Oh. Mimic. Where are they? Su-57. Oh, they left. They just left. Okay, that works for me. Goodbye, Scream. Focus on the mission at hand, which means we gotta get back to work dealing with the rest of these guys. Yeah, I know, right? They would have at least hopefully thought about, the mud season and how the mud season would fuck them up, considering that the mud season is one of the things that has in the past, been an important part of their defensive plan. But this is also what I mean, Kogasa, where history can lead you into traps. You can fall for traps when you focus too much on history. Because yes, history shows plenty of examples of how things can go wrong, but it's also very easy to fall for the assumption that history will repeat itself. If you really want to take lessons from history, you have to look specific. You can't just stop at invading Russia is a bad idea. You have to look at what are the specific factors that make something a bad idea. For example, it's not just that invading Russia is a bad idea. There's more to that. And it's more to that and we know this because Russia has been successfully invaded in the past. The Poles did it. The Poles did it. The Swedish did it. The Mongols did it. The important part about understanding what makes Russia a difficult country to invade is not just, Russia can't be invaded. It's not that simple. Instead, it's Russia has seasons where it's extremely cold, and then it has seasons where it's extremely muddy, and this means that crossing Russia is very hard. So you either need to time your invasion between those so that you're invading in the summer, and prepare for the mud season and the winter, because chances are your invasion is going to take so long that you're going to be fighting in those conditions. So you need to be ready for it. Big 31, hello. Rocket brick. Oh shit, did I really fire off all my missiles? Damn. That's not good. That's really not good. Apparently I went through a lot of ordnance. Damn. But on the upside, we have actually cleared the score threshold. Hello, what are these? Go away. I don't like you. Have some cluster bombs. Bonk. But again, because Ace Combat 7 is not a realistic game, just because I ran out of missiles doesn't mean that it's over. Bronk. I love cluster bombs so much. They are, yes, the Northwest Passage is, yes, climate change is also a factor. And like you said, that is a perfect example of that, is how the Northwest Passage, something that used to not exist, or if it did, was so seasonal and short-lived that it was not worth thinking about, is now a real idea. It's now a real possibility. I can see them, Longcaster. I'm working on it. Hold on. Go, 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 go. Good. Bombs away, bombs away. Have some popcorn. Get over here. Bonk. Oh, hey, the SU-34s are still here. Oh, boy. And we're out of missiles again. Do we? No, there's no return line. We just picked the wrong weapons, and now we're going to have to live with that. Oh, I can only imagine how painful this would be if I had to do this with the default pure pursuit guidance the game has instead of the modded proportional navigation. Ooh, 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 that hurt. That really hurt a lot. And we just got shot down. We just died. We just died, probably because we ran out of ammo. But now that we know that's a problem, now that we know what we're actually dealing with, well, we can actually do one of two things. What we're probably going to do is we're going to use the checkpoint where after we defeated Mimic Squadron... Oh, no, this is just the beginning of the mission. Shit. So you know what? If we're going to do that, but it was super harsh, the ice would cluster, and it's like gambling whether you would die or not each time you went. In the earlier days, you need a lot of specialized icebreakers and luck. Yep. Yep. That about sums it up pretty well, Kogasa. That is actually a perfect summary of what's going on, of what to expect with the Northwest Passage. The ice used to be vicious. The ice used to be absolutely horrendous. But now with climate change and all that, you could argue it's one of the few good things to come out of climate change. However, I wouldn't make that argument if I were you. That's an argument that kind of ignores all the problems that climate change causes, and kind of makes you look like an idiot. So it's not an argument I would make if I was in. It's not an argument I would recommend making. But now that we know what we're actually dealing with, now we have the correct weapons to deal with it, which means hopefully at least we won't be running out of ammo this time. Because this time, instead of taking the cluster bombs, since we expected a lot of ground targets, we're taking the secondary missiles, since we know just how many aircraft are going to be out here.
It's a requiem.
Yes, it's a requiem. It's... Oh, don't even start me on that, Tyranitar. Don't even start me on that. I don't want to think about that. I don't want to think about that at all. Okay. What now? Watch this. That's what. 6 shots out. Fox 3, Fox 3. Boom. We've got 8 down there. There's another mod for this game that probably pairs with this one fantastically called Skies Rebalanced, by the way. And Skies Rebalanced adds a couple of really nice things. Particularly, it adds the ability to use, it changes the behavior of certain weapons. Because there are some weapons in this game that for some reason, whenever they will, like that missile right there, you see it locks onto 6 targets, and each missile will lock onto a different target. There's another missile in this game that can lock onto up to 8 targets. However, the 8-lock missile has this stupid mechanic where sometimes 2 missiles will lock onto the same target. And I hate it. Thankfully, like I said, Sky's Rebalance, among other things, fixes that problem. Whoa, 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 whoa. Crank, 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 crank. Oh, that could have gone badly. That could have gone very badly. I did not realize where the missile was coming from. Oh! Too late on the evasion. Too late on the maneuver. Too late on the maneuver. Ugh.
Enemy on your back, Strider 2.
Fox 3, Fox 3. By the way, you'll hear me saying Fox 3, Fox 2 like that. Those are what are known as brevity codes. You know what? It's time to pull up MS Paint again. Oh, God, we're never going to get away from Paint, are we? We're never going to get away from MS Paint. Oh, my God. Because now I have to explain Fox 1, Fox 2, and Fox 3. What each of them means. So, MS Paint. Once again, as you can see, we still have our survivability onion and its flaws listed up there. That's not what's important. Instead, we need to focus on what we need to do is clear that. No, not like that. We need that to be white. Okay. Doing this. It hasn't done this. It didn't before. Salutem pavidos. Oh, that's why. Did I click that? I don't want that. Why would I ever want that? Yes, paint time. Also, I have music for this. I have the perfect music for this, so give me just 1 second because you'll understand what it is when you hear it. Where is it? What was it? Oh yeah, that song. That going. OBS, make sure it's not muted. Now it's time to explain missile brevity codes and what they mean. Start with Fox 1. Fox 1. Fox 1. When you got nothing left, Fox 2. Fox 1. You got nothing left. Fox 1 works like this. You have a plane. This is the plane. This is the enemy plane. The first plane, your plane, launches a missile. Missile, we'll just draw a line to represent the missile. The missile will be green because I say it'll be green. Fight me. This is the missile. Dot. I'll just draw a little circle, and then we're gonna draw a line between. This is this dot along this ellipse is the missile. The missile is radar guided, but the missile has no radar of its own. Instead, the plane's radar comes into play. This is where the plane's radar comes in. The plane, no. The plane uses its radar like a big old searchlight. Kind of like that. Right? Kind of like that. Like that. And no, zoom in, go right. Come over here. Fill this in because again, I'm lazy. Oh, damn it! What do you mean? Oh, it's back over here, isn't it? It is back over. Okay. Fuck it. As you can see, the plane uses its radar like a big old searchlight. I don't have to fill it in. Then what happens is the missile can see, quote unquote, see the plane based on the reflection of the radar coming back to the missile. That's Fox 1. Fox 2. It's the heater in your chest. Fox 2. Fox 2 works off of a different guidance principle. It does not use radar. Instead, Fox 2 works like this. Once again, you have plane. Have the missile. This time, instead of radar, why is that one green? No, this one needs to be blue, Paint. Okay, rectangle as before. Then green for the missile. Ellipse to represent the missile. Well, here's a little secret about jet engines and the planes that have them that you probably know, but is always worth re-explaining. Turns out, jet engines get very hot. Oh, no. This thing. Jet engines get very... No. Jet engines get very hot. And with the right kind of sensor, the missile can see the heat. The missile sees the heat. Like this. Like an eye. Missile sees hot jet engine. Missile sees hot jet engine. Neuron activation. Well, not neuron activation. You get the idea. The missile can see the heat. Sensor in the missile that can tell this is hot and then goes after it. That's Fox 2. Fox 3. Only friend you'll ever need. The cocksucker motherfucker Jeremiah Weed. This is Fox 3. Why is that? I got the colors all fucked up. Hold on. Fix this. I can fix this. It won't take that long. I know it's not important, but it bothers me. Green is the missile, blue is the launching aircraft. It's important. We have to have consistency, because if we don't have yes, they are, Kogasa. They are heat-seeking missiles. They are a missile that, So, one of the things about heat-seeking missiles is the way they tell the user they can see a hot thing. So, Sidewinders will actually play. So, in the pilot's helmet, there is a little speaker that plays this sound. This is the sound the missile makes when it can hear something. You know what I mean? That's the sound the missile makes when it's looking around. That's the sound the missile makes when it can hear something. You see how it goes up in pitch and becomes more annoying? That means the missile can see something. That means the missile can really see something. That means the missile is really, really excited to go. It's like, there's a hot thing over there. There's a hot thing over there. Let me go, coach. Put me in, coach. I can get him. The missile is excited. That first one, that means the missile is looking around. It doesn't really see anything particularly good to go after. It doesn't really see anything. The missile is like, oh. But then the missile sees something and it goes, and at that point, you can launch and the missile will go after whatever it is it can see. However, if you have, with certain missiles, there's that third tone. Not every missile uses that third tone, or not every Sidewinder uses that third tone, because that tone is specific to the Sidewinder. Other countries' missiles may use a different tone. For example, the R-73, the R-60, or the Iris-T, just to name a few examples of missiles that work off the same guidance principle as the Sidewinder, but are not the Sidewinder. That is Fox 2. Then you have Fox 3. Fox 3 missiles are a relatively new development, something that was enabled by the miniaturization of electronics to create a radar small enough to fit inside of a missile. That, again, we will do here. So, Fox 3. Aircraft uses its radar. We don't have to demonstrate it. Aircraft. Fuck, that's wrong. That's wrong. Why is that red? Back to that. Green for that. Deselect it so it doesn't turn red. And once again, you have the target aircraft. Target aircraft, the plane tells the missile, hey, target is here. Go roughly. Missile launches out, goes off of where the what I'm looking for here. Goes where the plane tells the missile the target is. The missile starts here, then eventually the missile gets here. Roughly speaking. The missile starts here, and then the missile gets here. To represent that, we'll just draw a little arrow to represent progress. Because this is the missile start point, this is where the missile ends up. Once it gets close enough to the target, it then turns on its own radar. Bing, 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 then bing, bing, bing. And based on that, now the missile can see where the target is and chase it with its own radar. There's a fourth brevity code for when the missile's own radar turns on and can see its target. That term, pitbull. Pitbull is what happened. Like I said, pitbull is the missile has reached the predicted target location, turns on its own radar, and starts looking around for something. Once the missile goes pitbull, it is no longer under the plane's control. It is on its own. It is doing its own thing. That's that. And now, Kogasa, those pigeon-guided missiles you were talking about don't fall under any of these. They fall under something else. Because all of these are for air-to-air missiles. These are for missiles that one plane fires, shoot down another plane. Instead, the brevity code for missiles, that sort of weapon, is rifle. Rifle is any missile, any type, with one exception, rifle covers every missile designed to attack ground targets. There is one exception. That exception is Magnum. Magnum refers to a special kind of missile. Again, have launching aircraft. As before, we have the missile. And yes, the missile knows where it is at all times. It knows this because it knows where it isn't. Or more accurately, in this case, the missile knows where it is all times because, well, down on the ground, there is a radar trying to shoot down the plane that launched the missile. The ground-based radar here, beep, 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 beep. You know, it's doing its thing. It's a radar. It's vibing. It's being a radar. Beep, 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 beep. This is an enemy radar. So what you do is, because there's a little dirty secret to radar, and that is you can tell that a radar is being pointed at you before the radar can see you. Something called the inverse square law, where the strength of a radar signal degrades. Basically, the strength of a radar signal degrades both ways. So as the radar sends out its signal, it gets weaker. And then once it bounces off of what it's coming from, it's getting even weaker still. And so this will see this before this can see this. Basically, how do I put this? You can detect a radar before the radar can detect you. That is the entire operating principle of the anti-radar missile. Because the anti-radar missile uses the emissions from the radar to find the radar and destroy the radar. All works because of this idea right here. You detect a radar before the radar can detect you. If you have the right equipment. Obviously. But the right equipment in this case is basically just half of a radar. Basically, the part of a radar that's listening. Oh shit! Oh shit! Back to yeah.
You sure? My man Trigger was an absolute monster just now.
Honk. Oh shit! That was Glamrock Squadron. I remember them. I know about them. They're another very well-known meme in Ace Combat. So Glamrock Squadron are literally a group of F4 fans. Yeah, eventually a bunch of boomers in F4s that came out to go on one last ride for some reason. Oh shit! Thanks for letting me know, Kogasa. Thanks for letting me know. Damn it! 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 Back to this now. Whoa! Hello, F4s. But yeah, so Glamrock Squadron are a group of F4 Phantoms Basically, it's a bunch of boomers and F4 Phantoms that came out to have one last ride, and they are an absolute meme, and I love them. They're so wacky, just as a concept. Ooh, bonk. One last moment of glory didn't happen. Sorry about that. Anyways, back to business. Where were we? F22. Not anymore. Okay. Misses away. Misses away. Bonk. 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 2 more out. These multi-lock missiles are just unfair, honestly. Once you know how to use them, because it's not just the fact that you have multiple lock-on targets. The fact that, you know, it's the whole, you know, lining up your shot to take advantage of that. And when you couple that with the proportional guidance mod that I'm using, they get kind of disgusting, especially because while this is a very interesting idea and I really hope more games do it, more games outside of Sims use this idea. You don't have to be a realistic game to use realistic missile guidance. In fact, if anything, using this more advanced guidance is a great way of introducing more challenge to your game. Boom, just like that. Bonk. 1 down. Hello. Where are you? Hello, F22. Bye. Ah! The shot was bad. The shot was bad. Okay, coming around, coming around, coming around, coming around, coming around. Bonk. That's another thing I noticed just now. Apparently, ESM means your missiles do more damage, and that's one of the reasons why. How do you win if everyone has aimbot missiles? Well, Tyranitar, we went over this earlier. Just because a missile has advanced guidance doesn't mean it will always hit. There are still techniques you can use to defeat advanced missile guidance. One of them, yep, flares are a perfect example of how you defeat heat-seeking missiles, Kogas. In fact, you might notice down there, FLR. FLR is for flares. If I can't maneuver in a way that lets me defeat the missile, they are my last ditch. They are my last ditch measure to get the missile off of my tail. Again, Ace Combat is not a realistic game, so flares work better than they do in real life. But the idea is still the same. Whoa, that was close. Goodbye. Round, 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 round. Bonk. Oh, you're still alive. You can't have that. No way. Please die. Thank you. Your death is appreciated. Oh. Oh. Okay. I guess we're too far outside the ESM to get the damage bonus. Now we are. Now we're in. Now we're definitely in good. Yes, they do, Kogasa. No, Tyranitar, it's not. Because even without countermeasures, there are maneuvers you can use. These are not aimbot missiles. These are not magical missiles that can't be defeated. These are better missiles. These are better missiles that are harder to dodge, but harder does not mean impossible. There are ways to defeat advanced guidance missiles. No, actually, Kagasa, it's a different maneuver. And I swear to God, we're going to have to pull up paint again just to explain this now. Damn it. I thought we got away from this, but nope. Here we go again. Here, go here, pull up paint again. Close off all of this. Not like that. Like that. Okay. No, it's a complete... It can be, actually, Tyranitar. It can be, depending on what sort of situation you're in. But, now let me explain how you defeat a proportionally guided missile, which is what we're using in this game right now. In fact, you've noticed that I've been able to evade several of them already, because I'm not the only one out there with proportional guidance. The proportional guidance mod for Ace Combat 7 makes enemy missiles also use proportional guidance. So just because they're using a more advanced guidance system, a more advanced guidance technique than the game uses by default, does not mean they are impossible to dodge. So, back to this now. Back once again, we're going to have to do our 101. Our 101 on how you defeat proportional guidance. On Pure Pursuit versus proportional guidance. This is our launch plane. This is our enemy plane. Our enemy plane will be traveling like this at first. I say at first because later on, after we do this initial explanation, we will be showing how you defeat proportional guidance. Get that long, maybe a little bit shorter because I'm late. That is our course. That is our track. This is how your pursuit missile pursues its target. For this, we're going to mean because once again, I don't know how a pure pursuit missile would go after the target. It starts going this way, pointing towards the target. As the target moves, it adjusts its course till it eventually meets the target as well. See that long left turn it has to make because it's trying to follow the target directly? That is what proportional guidance avoids. That's pure pursuit. Orange is proportional guidance. Proportional guidance instead does this. Because it does that, it uses less energy to catch up to the target and thus is more likely to hit. However, likely does not mean guaranteed. Instead, there are because there are maneuvers you can use to beat proportional guidance. One of them, like this. So you're going along as before, and then you do this. Now, what the missile does is different. The missile before had a very easy time of just, setting itself on a course to intercept you. But now the missile has been fooled. Instead, now it has to do this. By the time it gets here, it no longer has enough energy to pursue you. It no longer has enough energy to calculate the new intercept that it needs to actually catch you. Missile misses. The missile, in fact, does not know where it is. So instead of catching you, you are here. The missile is here. It has missed. It has failed to intercept you. That is just one example of what you can do to beat proportional guidance. Basically, a lot of what it boils down to is creating a situation where the missile cannot calculate the intercept it needs to reach you. And just because the missile guidance makes it easier for the missile to intercept you, does not mean avoiding it is impossible. It is never impossible to avoid the missile. Sometimes it's just more difficult. Anyways, back to TORRES. Back to TORRES we go.
aircraft was hit from an enemy.
The reason that the missiles do so well in this game right now is that the AI in this game is not set up for it. However, it is not a difficult task to set up the enemy AI to actually account for proportional guidance and start doing those maneuvers. In fact, in a few cases, I have missed. It's not common, but it does happen.
Nice work. Those fighters are after the fleet. Take care of the rest.
Okay, come back around, get these Harriers next. These will use up the rest of these will probably, come in here, just like that. Just like that. Harriers down, Harriers down. Perfect. Good.
Great work.
Fleet is safe. Turn to covering the EW planes.
Command duty officer. The approaching landing ship is to be considered hostile. Set it as your target.
Roger. Set primary target to hostile landing ship.
Here, ESM is go. Goodbye. Bonk. See it. It's about killing the people. Oh. Yes, Torres, we know you're crazy. We know entirely that you're crazy. You don't have to remind us. Okay, let's go kill the jammers. They're gonna be a pain in the ass until we do, after all. Go, 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 go. As you can see, you see how it's taking longer for me to get a lock here? And even after I do, the missiles are a little bit dumb. Not as dumb as they probably should be, but they're a little bit dumb compared to what they would be like without the jamming. That's just an example. Where are they? Where are they? There they are. Hello, jammer. Come back here. Oh, we just got the two of them down. Damn, okay there, Count. By the way, can I just say for a moment, Count looks like Chad Kroger. He looks a lot like Chad Kroger. If you know who that is, you'll understand what I mean. He's the, but if you want to know who he is, you don't know, he is the vocalist from Nickelback. And he has that same sort of like long, blonde, foofy hair.
All aircraft be advised. Enemy strike fighters are on the approach. They're fullbacks.
And so it was a long-running joke when Ace Combat 7 first came out that your wingman was just Chad Kroger. Okay, that takes care of the jammers.
We're taking casualties.
Jammers are gone. Okay, kill the, now let's go kill the SU-34s now. Round. Hello, SU-34s. Time to die. See how the flares didn't stop that missile? Just like they don't magically stop the missile. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Managed to trick the missile. Good. Good. Missiles out, missiles out. Oh, 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 oh! That could have gone very badly. I know the landing ship is under attack. I'm moving in to take care of it. Hold on. Hold on, I got this. Boom. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Are you? Okay, that's another one down. Where's the rest of the SU-34s at? Hello! Nice try. Not gonna be that simple. Bonk. By the way, the ESM really helps here because it increases the damage your missiles do. So these planes that would normally take 3 missiles to kill now only take 2. That is an absolute godsend. Holy shit. Ooh. Excellent. You think they'll be happy to see us, but something tells me they won't be. Considering everything that Torres has been saying over the radio, I think he's gonna try something. 47 are they? Oh. I've waited long enough. She's like unhinged, by the way. Holy shit. I gotta say, it's kind of hot. Scream. It is just Scream. Okay. There's Rage. I was wondering where he went to. Bonk. Filthy bats. There we go. Missiles out, missiles out. Bonk. Down you go, Rage. Come back again later. Try again later, motherfucker. Ooh. I mean, Kogasa, you know the character I've played, and you know the Necronica character I've played. She was kind of crazy. She was kind of. So yeah, I do think it's kind of hot. Where are we? Where are we? Oh, shut up, Scream. Shut up, Scream. We'll be seeing you later. Mission at hand. Wonder how they got their hands on that. That's gonna be that's a little suspicious. Might even say it's a little a little, where are they? I even say it's a little sus. Dun 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 dun. You're never going to get away from Among Us. You will never escape Among Us. Among Us will never die. I hate it. I hate it so much. But I've learned to accept it. Among Us. Bing, 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 bing. Bing, bing, bong, bong. Not anymore, they ain't. They don't count. They're probably going to be coming back in a minute. But first, got some shit to take care of on the ground. Bonk. See, we're good. And look at us. We are well past the score threshold, too. So now all we got to do is wait for time to run, wait for the clock to run down, and see what happens afterwards.
Additional hostiles confirmed.
Oh, boy. What do we got now?
Surface-to-ship weapons teams around the sub. Eliminate them.
Okay, so we've got air targets and ground targets. Ground targets are closer. We're going to take care of them first. This should be relatively simple. Each of them only takes one missile to kill anyways. It's not like there's any tanks. Tanks in the... Okay, so that's one of the things about tanks in this game. Tanks take 2 missiles to kill. These are not tanks. Also, we have ESM. So even if they were tanks, they would still only take 1 hit to kill them. Because that's how ESM works in this game. That's not how ESM works in real life. I will once again reiterate, Ace Combat is not a realistic game. However, unrealistic does not mean bad. Just because it's not realistic doesn't mean it's not a good game. I rather enjoy this game a lot. Especially, while I take issues with some of its writing, I rather like the way the gameplay works. It's a great, fundamentally satisfying gameplay loop that feels good. I don't know how else to describe it beyond that. Ooh, up we go. Up, 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 up. Back around, come back around, come back around. Take care of you. Good. Oh, that's right, these need 3 missiles. Down he goes, down he goes, down he goes. 34, first one's down. We got 2 more to go. Guns, guns, guns. You're fine, you're fine. But you're not fine, but you're not totally fucked. Don't worry, I got them. See? Down they go. 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes 18 left. Just gotta wait for that clock to run down and take care of anything else that comes up in the process. You see, million lives are about to be snuffed out with senseless cruelty. Must be sacrificed. Put them to rest. Torres? Torres, what are you doing? Well, we'll know what Torres is doing soon enough. Don't worry about that. We'll know exactly what he's planning soon. But first, we'll get our first we're getting our first introduction to what his plan is. Between now and then though, we got other problems to handle. Okay, just like that. Good. Bring ourselves up. Wait, turn around. Fantastic. Perfect. Okay, perfect. Just like that. A guns down. That just leaves the Typhoon. Bonk. Oh, that's so satisfying. That's so satisfying, especially with how many of these shots would normally miss. But because of the proportional guidance, it's just like, ha ha ha, die. Oh. It makes me really wish the AI was actually set up to deal with proportional guidance, though, because I really am kind of missing. I really do want more. Like, I really wish there was more of a challenge, but I'm so stuck. I hate Pure Pursuit so much. I'm willing to live with it, especially since the only thing that we lose out on is the fact that our missiles hit more often. Missiles hit more often. Cool. Torres? Torres, what are you doing? Torres, please stop. Torres, I don't like this. I want to get off Captain Torres' wild ride. Can I please get off Captain Torres' wild ride? I don't know if I like this. I don't know if I like this at all.
Puffin, this is Lancaster. Enemy's resistance is dwindling, and we've almost secured air superiority.
But let's see what he's up to.
The rest is all yours,
Muffin.
Captain.
Now I can finally have my sausage
rolls.
rolled.
Anything other than finger food would get in the way of my
God
duties.
damn it, Lancaster. I love Lancaster though. He's such a dork.
I'll be leaving now. You take command from here on.
And out goes the Alicorn. Wonder where it's headed. Go ahead, both engines.
Are you sure? Landing ship Puffin to all active units. Enemy submarine is starting.
Yeah, I can see that from up here. Oh, wait, what?
Bearing 180.
Torres, what are you doing? And Torres just killed the Puffin.
Alicorn fired on her with the rail.
Torres just killed the Puffin.
Ship's on fire. It's gonna sink.
Fuck. Torres, what are you doing? Torres, what are those? Where are they going? What are they planning?
Confirming launch of submarine-based aircraft.
What are you planning, Torres?
It appears
Four
one of
planes
them is
out.
carrying a cruise missile.
What?
Cruise missile. Oh God. They're gonna go nuke somebody. They're gonna go off on a nuclear mission, aren't they? Okay, down we go. Yeah, I kind of guessed that. I kind of guessed that, David. We're already on our way to take care of him. Hold on. Get back here. Get back here, you four. Shit.
Triggers caught up to them.
First missile's out. Heed your words. What, Torres? What are you doing? What the hell are you doing, Torres? Definitive and elegant manner. Flares out, flares out, flares out. What does any of that mean, Torres? I don't like this. I don't like this, Torres. Can you stop? Can you please don't? Can you please not? I really don't like this. I really don't like whatever the hell it is you're planning here. And I'm not sure I want to be part of it. But can you please don't? I would appreciate that if you could please don't. Got him, got him, got him. Target down, target down. Oh, that was uncomfortable. That was unpleasant. That was a nuke. That was a nuke that just went off. Wasn't it? Shit. Ruined what, Torres? He walked all over it with his dirty boots, over the crisp white sheath of the bed I just made. I bet that I just made. And that's our first real, not our first, but that is the beginning. This is the beginning of Captain Torres's wild ride. Lord knows what he's got planned next, but before that, we're gonna have to see where the hell you see, we have a problem. The problem is, the Alicorn is a submarine, and yes, it is Tyranitar. What you can do is so for a nuke to go off, a very specific set of things have to happen. And when you shoot down an aircraft carrying a nuclear weapon,
The operation has been completed.
disrupt.
Stand by for.
You disrupt that chain of
We
events.
still don't know who those bats were.
Yeah,
Why
I don't
did they
know
have to
either.
trigger?
And more
They were
importantly,
using. Oh, you mean they're on? Impossible. Or
Yeah, I know.
maybe. They were there to settle a personal score. There's nothing unusual.
Guess it might have been that way where we came from, but
Everyone, here's a question.
That's enough. Remove him from the call.
Wait,
Oh,
don't
come
hang up
on.
me yet.
Damn-
How did they never would have taken such actions?
They have a spy.
Yeah, no.
Better to be suspicious.
At the very least, we'll have to assume from here on out that they know everything that we did.
So this is a fundamental problem. That's the thing about a nuke. A very specific set of operations happen for a nuke to actually initiate.
Another question,
Detonate.
Alex.
And most of the time,
Mateus Torres,
you're not
the captain
actually
of the
going.
Alicorn. What is his goal?
You're not actually going to want that to happen.
There are
So
21
nukes are
likely targets.
designed to make
Remember,
sure.
main routes.
Wrong.
to the targets is 2,405.
You're being too logical.
Want me to define, Maine?
Alex, can you be more sensory?
What do you mean?
Make me a collage of Torres' quotes.
Oh boy, here we
Work
go.
freely. Keep my
Life
hypothesis in mind.
Power. Forward projection.
Life taken by cheap kills of forward projection.
Yeah, no, that's not it. That's
No
not
good.
it at all, Alex.
No good.
Alex. All right, let's go on. Try to be a little more sensuous.
Monstrous. 16,752. And salvation.
Activity.
of
That ain't it either.
Okay.
Try again.
Vulgarity of 6 per minute. A forward security.
No, that ain't it.
Good.
Try again.
Will of nuclear retaliation.
Death. That ain't it either. He's obviously not planning a retaliatory
160
operation.
millimeter guidance where massacre is placed by mass planning.
Planning. We're getting
More
closer.
logically.
We're getting closer.
Salvation
Of
10 million.
10
An elegant massacre,
Massacre
upon the
on the
cage continents.
Oh
Stop.
no.
That's
Oh
correct.
no.
Or is it?
Torres. I want to get off Captain Torres' wild ride. I want to get off Captain Torres' wild ride. Please, I want to get off Captain Torres' wild ride. But, unfortunately for us, there's still 2 more missions to go. But those are problems for next time. For now, we're going to see who's around to go say hello to. Actually, considering everything I've been talking about, with proportional guidance, proportional navigation, and missile guidance, I know exactly who we're going to go say hello to. Because Sigrid and Bird are currently playing Kerbal Space Program. And I think that's a great continuation from what we were talking about. As for the raid message, what else? What else could it be? 1 million lives. Whatever emotes you want to use. Let's go.